mention, by the way, today's the day?
Hey, yo, man, what's up with your fakakta mishpuha?
There was an old farmer who lived on a rock. He sat in the meadow just shaking his fist at some boys who were down by the creek. Their feet in the water, their hands on their marbles and playthings, and at 4:30, there came a young lady. She looked like a pretty young creature. She sat on the grass. She pulled up her dress and she showed them her ruffles and laces and white fluffy duck. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children so they would not spit, while the boys in the barnyard were shoveling refuse and litter from yesterday's hunt, while the girl in the meadow was rubbing her eyes at the fellow down by the dock. He looked like a man with a sizable home in the country with a big fence out front. If he asked her politely, she'd show him her little pet dog who was subject to fits. And maybe she'd let him grab hold of her small tender hands with a movement so quick. And then she'd bend over and suck on his candy so tasty made of butterscotch. And then he spread whipped cream all over her cookies that she had left out on her shelf. If you think this is dirty, you can go yourself.
Yeah, you must have a really livid and vivid imagination if there's anything dirty in there. Although I don't know why they couldn't say crotch in there, you know, after all the other innuendos. See, there's a difference between double entendre and innuendo.
Right.
Am I right?
No.
Well,
yes.
thank God for that. Well, I just made it up. I just said
That's
so,
right.
okay? I'm going to be like Joyce. It is
really?
whatever I say it is. Well, whatever
Need
it
an operation,
is.
don't you?
Like Bubba would say, whatever it is or it was, I'll decide what it is. Anyway, today is that day. And people are thinking, well, what does he mean by that? It's just another damn Thursday in the middle of June. Hotter than hell. Today is the last day of my regular schedule for a long time. A long time. 1 o'clock. George will be on 1 to 2. In fact, get used to the sound of George's voice. And those of you people who have missed all the great, nifty callers that we every now and then have on the show, the good news is they'll be back with George.
Start sharpening your fingers.
So send George a lot of drugs, okay, because I have a feeling he'll be needing them all the way through the week after Labor Day in September. It's only the middle of June. That sounds like a 3-month almost hiatus, but I'll be on. Now, did Eric put that on our thing or what?
Huh?
He said he did the other day.
He did?
That's what he says.
Let me take a puke at it. There it is. Never ever doubt Eric.
Nope.
That fatso is just, the fat people are the good people. Just ask me and Chris.
Right, and the dead people.
Yeah, well, nothing's perfect, man. Mondays, George live from Paradise. Tuesdays, Neil live from anywhere except the QM studios. Wednesdays, George, et cetera, and so on. Well, that's beautiful. It's even color-coded. And the interesting part is my days are in green and your days on his chart are in pink.
Gee.
Maricón.
Thanks,
Bugarrón. Oh, nice work, Eric. You got that straightened out. And I take back what I said to Chris before the show. We again started pretty damn low, 520-some, but now we're up to 674 votes. You'll make the 1,000 today, boys.
Yeah, well, it's summer. People are waking up a little later.
Huh?
It's summer. People get up a little later.
People get up later in the summer? What the hell does that mean? I never heard of anything like that. In my life, I have never heard such a thing.
They don't have to go to work or anything like that, you know?
What do you mean they don't have to go to work now? People don't work in the summertime? I mean,
we got teachers and stuff listening to this.
Here's the schedule for this afternoon. George 1 to 2. Mad Dog 2 to 4. Power Hour with Hank and the Mad Dog 4 to 5. It's like a real schedule today, but it ends at 1 o'clock. And then, of course, the dog days of summer. Humper all by himself at the Dolphin Stadium 5 to 6:30. At the stadium, no less. Marlins on deck 6:30. The Marlins got whomped by the Indians last night, did they not? 7-3, something like that.
That's correct.
Their asses kicked. But anyway, they'll try it again against the Indians at 7:05. And game night with Eddie K follows Marlins baseball. This is the last season, by the way, for Marlins baseball on QM. You can bet a lot of money on that. It's already been announced, so it's not like I'm letting any cat out of the bag. And why would it be the last season for the Marlins on QM? Because we're losing our ass on it. That's why. With all due respect to all those great jock strap wearing guys. It's just one of those things we're losing our ass on because nobody cares. In fact, look in the stands next time you go and have a game when the Mets or some other, the Yankees, some New York team isn't playing there, and look around you. Fake Colgate toothpaste that may contain a poisonous chemical has been found in 4 states. Oh, speaking of 4, there were 4 people shot and killed somewhere in Illinois this morning, according to WLS, but CNN doesn't feel that's important enough to really, I guess they don't have like...
Not as important as the weather.
Right. And all that rain. Look at all the rain. Wow. Including Florida. Look at the rain, you guys. Oh, my God. That's bad. Yellows and greens and big blobs. Wow. Holy moly, rat man. Yeah, the weather, the rain is in the summertime. There's Charleston, South Carolina. It's almost underwater. So why would we care about 4 people getting shot and killed in somewhere in Illinois? Because it's the American effing way anyway. Like, hey, it's Thursday. Good job. That's 4. Fake Colgate toothpaste that may contain a poisonous chemical has been found in 4 states. Colgate Palmolive be saying today. Colgate said the fake toothpaste may contain diethylene glycol, which the company never uses in its toothpaste. The company said it's working with the FDA to locate the source of the counterfeiting. I bet you anything it's the Chinese.
I do too.
The fake toothpaste has been found in discount stores in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Nothing about Florida, though. No reason to get all panicky yet. I use Crest myself, thank God for that. Best by test, I'm brushing with Crest. Even smear a little in my every now and then, can't hurt. Gives you that nice, fresh, minty flavor. Although I don't like mint. I use cinnamon.
Really?
Never tried Crest cinnamon flavor?
I don't think so, but I like cinnamon too, so it sounds like a good idea.
It's real fruity. The fake products aren't manufactured or distributed by Colgate Palmolive and can be identified because they say they are manufactured in South Africa or have misspellings on the label. Colgate, baby. It's spelled COLGXZQYN or something like that. So if you buy some Colgate and it's spelled like QLRP or something like it's probably not the good stuff.
Right.
Ask Sigourney Weaver. She knows where to get the good stuff. Products put at risk by relentless cost cutting is the I don't want to go into the whole thing. You'll get depressed. Then you'll get all panicky and you'll start eating pet food. And of course we know that's bad. And why should the Chinese not be tainting the pet food? They're
taint nice.
Taint good for the pets. Let me see if we got near 700 on there already. Well, I've only got 3 hours today. In fact, 2 hours and 52 minutes. Not that I'm counting. And somewhere out there, some old Getchke, she's going, all he cares about is getting off on vacation. Yeah, getting off on vacation is good, but getting off any time is not a bad idea.
Sure.
Speaking of that, Kurt Waldheim won't be doing that anymore. He's dead. Who was it yesterday that died? Oh, it was Mr. Wizard, Don Herbert. Oh, that was so sad. Out of sight, out of mind. I haven't thought about Mr. Wizard in a long, long time. In the Gator's age. Former UN Secretary General Kurt Waldheim was elected Austrian president. Oh, that's why I always thought of him as a Nazi. He was elected Austrian president despite an international scandal about his secretive WW2 military service for the Nazis died today. Austrian media reported he was 88. That's why I thought he was a Nazi, because he was. I see. I remember those days. See, this is what happens when time goes by and you forget about all the scandalous, hateful people who, fake their way through life. Like Henry Kissinger, for example, another Nazi. Waldheim, who was hospitalized in Vienna late last month with a fever-causing infection, died of heart failure with family members at his bedside. Waldheim's tenure as UN chief from 72 to 82, his election as president in 86 were overshadowed by revelations that he belonged to a German army unit that committed atrocities in the Balkans during WW2. He was a freaking Nazi, and now he's dead, to which we say, all right. While Waldheim himself was not implicated in wrongdoing, his initial denial of such service and then assertions that he and fellow Austrians were only doing their duty. They were only following orders. That's what they all said. We're only following orders. Right. Led to international censure and a decision by Washington to place him on a watch list of persons prohibited from visiting the U.S. The ban was never lifted. Watch him. He's dangerous. Of course, look who we got now, talking about dangerous. President Heinz Fischer issued a statement expressing his deepest condolences, and officials lowered the flag outside his office to half-staff. A notorious Nazi and former Secretary General of the UN, Kurt Waldheim, is dead at 88. Let's have a party. I have several reasons to have a party here right now, especially since it's this day, Thursday, el 14 de junio. Isn't it something? I'm quite a linguist these days, you know?
Yes, quite the linguini.
700 votes on today's poll. I haven't even gotten to yesterday's poll, but we'll do that. We'll take it nice and slow. And then we'll play Read a Book, Read a Mother Scratching Book about 10 times, and it'll be all your turn. It'll be all George.
All right.
No tapes this summer, by the way. If Jolly Joe Bell tries to stick some tapes on, I'd say set his ass on fire. Here's the poll from yesterday, 1,302 votes. Who is Mo overpaid? I really take grave exception to this. Who's Mo overpaid? Big company CEOs wins hands down, 582, almost 45%. Pro jocks, 315, should have been much higher. They are making ridiculous money. All you jockstrap wearing and sniffing idiots out there that are making zillions and trillions of dollars, way too much to be give me the ball, you know? But nevertheless. Neil, 136, over 10%. See, I'm overpaid. It's like Stan Major. He's an overpaid talent. Like that. Yeah, but at least I'm working, Stan, and making some serious money. How you doing? And how's my money doing? Actors 91, lawyers 75, realtors 66, stockbrokers 21, and rock stars only, the ACCs, 16 out of 1,302. And we decided that because we like rock stars. Yeah, I mean, you know, some of us like some of the jocks too, but that doesn't mean we don't begrudge them making ridiculous money. But rock stars, you know, their music goes on forever, like Malice Cooper and Bono and other talentless people like that.
What's wrong with Alice Cooper?
Sloppy dresser.
I see. Well, yeah.
I know how that works. You know who told me? Another sloppy dresser with a bad hairpiece. You come to work looking like that? And he had the nerve to say that to me while he was fishing for dingleberries.
Twisted bitch should get fired. Twisted bitch should get fired. How the hell did she get hired? Twisted bitch should get fired.
Absolutely.
A highly respected corporate lawyer. Who she may say, but she ain't. Here's a bitch who don't have a clue on what she's doing, but somehow she tickles their tails.
Smells like an egg.
Twisted bitch should get fired. Twisted bitch should get fired. How did that dumb broad get hired? Twisted bitch should get fired. The sourpuss holds up with both. Sticks her ass where her nose should not go.
Rectum.
Beautiful long hair, get a teaching job at Regent, and stop destroying our show. She blows.
Oh.
Twisted bitch should get fired. She blows. Twisted bitch should get fired. She blows. How in the hell did she get hired? She blows. Twisted bitch should get fired. What a QAF. Twisted bitch should get fired. She blows. She blows. Twisted bitch should get fired. She blows. She blows. How did that dumb broad get fired? She blows. Twisted bitch should get fired.
That's what I've heard through the grapevine. There's nothing worse than a sour puss. It's 10:18 at 560 WQAM. Happy Thursday. Boy, do I sound happy or what? And you want to know why?
Because you're going on vacation.
Ecstatic. I am delirious. I'm ready to do like a, what do they call that? Like a pirouette when you're dancing on one toe or something?
There is a maneuver.
I know what they call that.
Gay.
Yeah. Oh. Woo! 734 votes on today's poll. Poor Eric, man. It just dawned on me why it took so long to get the votes going, Chris.
What's that?
Because I guess I changed it, right? Because I came home early from Woodbine.
Yeah, no, because I went to change it at like 10 after 5. It was already done.
But it didn't have the did it have the selections on there?
Yeah, it was all ready to go.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh. What time was that?
Like 10 after 5, it was already changed when I went to change it.
And it had the choices to
vote?
vote?
It was all ready to go, and I voted. Instead of changing it, I just voted.
Because mine didn't come up with the choices on there. It said, we're working on it. So I thought because there's so many choices, Eric was diddling around with it, you know? Because he's busy at the Parliament House up there with his boyfriends. Down there, up there. 734 votes on here already. We'll make the 1,000 easy, maybe by 1 o'clock. Wouldn't that put me in a really extra special great mood to leave here knowing we got the 1,000 in the bag for Chris? Which TV dead? Of course, this is in honor of Father's Day coming up this Sunday. Now, my father is dead, thank goodness. George's father is still alive.
Yeah, whatever. I'm going to dig him up and use his head for a urinal cake.
Oh, that's bad.
Just to say that I got something from him. Here's his skull.
I got something from my dad. It's called Bad Looks. Which TV dad would you have preferred as your own? Tony Soprano from The Sopranos. I wonder why, 93.
He's
wonder
rich.
Why Tony is
He's
on
rich
top.
and indulgent.
And because they're getting a lot of press these days. All of it bad, by the way, for that really horrendous last... Don't start picking on David Chase again, please.
I'll wait till
Unless
1.
you want to. Maybe you can do that from 1 to 2 would be good.
I aim to.
Homer Simpson from The Simpsons 74. I heard a little something about him.
Blaming.
Al Bundy, Married with Children, 55. Gomez Adams from the Addams Family, 54. Now, I must confess, Gomez Adams?
I don't
the
get
name?
that either. Yeah, what, you didn't know?
No, I didn't. I never knew. To this day, I never knew that. Just like yesterday, I never knew that it was jealousy windows instead of jealousy.
Right.
And then, of course, we looked it up and find out that in French, jealousy means jealousy anyway. So, yeah, jalousie. Lucy. Tim, the tool man, Taylor from Home Improvement, 49. I mean, are you kidding me or what? Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies, 49. Andy Taylor from the Andy Griffith Show, 36. Is this a Charlie V poll? It's got to be. Oh, yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because who else would have done the research to know the names of all these people?
Most people know most of those names.
Get out of here. Andy Taylor from the
You
Andy
didn't know
Griffith
that? You
Show?
never watched that show?
I hate it.
Yeah,
Ward
well.
Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver, 28. Well, we all knew Ward Cleaver.
Sure.
Cliff Huxtable from The Cosby Show, 23. Now there ought to be a war based on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just outrageous.
Well, again, he had money, so.
24 now. What?
The Huxtables
had
had money, yeah, on the show, so you had nice designer
So did
sweaters.
George Jefferson. How come? Did he even
Right.
make it on here?
I thought I
He's
saw
not
him
even
on
on
there.
here.
I thought I saw him on there.
Well, if you can find it for me, I'm scrolling up and down the old thing right now. I'm scrolling up and down it, just like the old bagpipe
No, it
player.
was George. No, there he is. George Jefferson, the Jefferson, 6 votes.
He's way down there with 6? Oh, there he is, yeah. That's weak.
I think that's a racial
Ben
thing.
Cartwright from Bonanza, 22. George voted for him.
That's
because
right.
He was a macho guy, and he sold some really untainted dog
Oh,
food.
he was rich. He had all this
Lauren
real
Green.
estate.
There's another good Canadian boy for you there, Lauren Green.
Right.
He's dead, though. But
Ride
he's
horses
good
all day,
Canadian.
ride on the range all day.
William
Nothing
Shatner.
like-
There's another Canadian, I believe. Was
Yes.
he Canadian?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Archie Bunker, All in the Family, only 20. Now, the question again is, which TV dad would you have preferred as your own? So even though
Right.
we loved Archie Bunker,
Sure,
we would
as
have
a
wanted him
character.
as our daddy.
No, and he was a schlepper.
Howard Cunningham from Happy Days, 18. Herman Munster from the Munsters, 18. Howard Cunningham, that was Tom Bosley.
Yeah.
Who would want a father like that?
The voice
Tom
would annoy me.
Bosley.
It would drive me to an early grave.
He was really annoying. Red Foreman from the That 70 Show, 16. Boy, is that a bad show or what? That is.
Yes.
Sandy Cohen from the OC, 15. Lucas McCain from the Rifleman, 13. Martin Crane, rhymes with McCain, from Frasier, 12. That's a bad show. George Jetson from the Jetsons, 12. Jim Anderson, Father Knows Best, 10. John Walton from the Waltons, 10. Philip Drummond from Different Strokes, 10. Dan Connor from Roseanne, 10. Jim from According to Jim, 9. Phil Banks, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 8. Fred Flintstone from the Flintstones, 8. Jason Seaver. This is good. If I read the poll result 3 times, it'll be 1 o'clock. Jason Seaver from Growing Pains, 8. George Jefferson, 6. Tom Bradford at 8 is enough, 5. Ozzie Nelson from The Adventures of Ozzie and Harry at 5. I wouldn't mind him being daddy, because then Rick would have been my brother. Hey, brotherly love, baby. Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch, 5. George Lopez from the George Lopez Show, 5. Frank Costanza, 5, from Seinfeld. Bernie Mac McCullough from the Bernie Mac Show, 5. Tom Corbett from The Courtship of Eddie's Father, 4. That was Bill Bixby, right? He's
Yes.
dead.
Yes.
Steve Keaton from Family Ties, 4. Ray Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond, 4. That is one of the most just awful shows. Pat Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie, You Fairy, 2. Jack Arnold from The Wonder Years, 2. Eric Camden from Seventh Heaven, 2. Boy, I like that show. I don't really like the show. I just like some of the people been on there. And you would, too. And you do.
I've never seen an episode of it.
You know some of the people on there. On
Yeah,
Seventh
Jessica
Heaven?
Biel. We have a giant poster of her right here, but I've never seen 30
Who is
seconds
it?
of that show. Jessica Biel
Well, there you go.
has an appeal.
Yeah. Well,
I'd
there's some
like to
hot people
appeal
been
her
on that
clothes
show. In
on.
fact, Howard Beale
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
was on one of the episodes. Darren Stevens from Bewitched 2, Daryl Tanner from Full House 1, and Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Out of 767, he's got the big.
Oh!
He don't have squat. And I'm sure deservedly so. Speaking of bad daddies, a federal bankruptcy judge ordered O.J. Simpson's daughter on Tuesday to give a deposition by the end of the week in a lawsuit about the former football star's canceled book, If I Did It. If I Done It. You done it. You doed it. A judge already ordered the bankrupt company owned by Simpson's children to turn over any copies of the book in which the former NFL star explains how he might have committed the killings of ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. How he might have doed it. Simpson, who's maintained his innocence, was acquitted in 95 of criminal charges in the deaths. Goldman's family wants to rename the book Confessions of a Double Murderer and sell it to collect part of the $33.5 million they won nearly a decade after a civil jury found Simpson liable for Goldman's death. But the Goldman's case has been snarled and with canceled depositions, other hurdles. Goldman attorneys have given up trying to depose O.J. after he canceled at the last minute 2 weeks ago. Goldman attorney Paul Batista Fascista, said the Simpsons have failed to comply with court orders, including turning over copies of the book. They simply don't want to play by the rules, Batista said. I've never seen as much contempt of court as I've seen in this case with a debtor. Simpson's oldest daughter, Arnell, is named as the head of Lorraine Brooks Associates, which owns the book's rights. Learn to spell with Arnell. Sounds like a bit to me. Arnell Simpson's attorney, Kendrick Whittle, said his client does not have copies of the book. He said Goldman family attorneys were present when a trustee took her deposition, and she shouldn't be forced to sit there and explain her life story in front of a camera again. But U.S. bankruptcy judge A.J. Crystal ordered Arnell Simpson and an attorney for her father to give depositions by tomorrow when a hearing's supposed to start. The attorney, Leonardo Stark, is believed to be holding about $3,500 for Simpson in a client trust account in Florida, where he'd be living like in Kendall. Well, how do you like that? Lorraine Brooke, which struck a deal with HarperCollins to be included in an auction for the book's rights, filed for bankruptcy after the canceling of the deal, putting the sale on hold. Arnell sought to reorganize Lorraine Brooke, which would allow her to maintain temporary control over it, but Crystal ruled the company should be liquidated. He decided an independent trustee would control it. It's all a bunch of, sleight of hand. It's like poor old Bob Barker. Don't forget, last show with Bob Barker around The Price is Right. Any interest?
No.
Huh? Going to be spinning that big wheel for the last time. I sure hope he didn't get caught up in it.
You bastard.
First, Fox brought you the classiest TV show of the year, O.J. Simpson. If I Did It, here's how it happened.
So then I stabbed her over and over again while I screamed, die, die. If I can't have you, nobody can. I mean, that's how I would have done it.
Now, Fox follows up that triumph with another significant, revealing portrait. Dick Cheney. If I Did It, here's how it happened.
So, Mr. Cheney, how would you do it?
It was easy. I would pretend, you're going to love this. I would pretend I was just shooting at quail, and then I would blow that lawyer's face right off. He owed me money, you know.
Sir, I meant, how did you start the war in Iraq?
Oh, well, I told the president, I bet you can't finish what your daddy started. What are you, a mommy's boy? Oh, by the way, here's some fake weapons of mass destruction evidence. I mean, that's how I would have done it.
Dick Cheney. If I Did It, here's how it happened. That's only on Fox. We'll run anything.
If I do it, it's 10:32 at 560 WQM. We got 800 and some vote on the poll there. I bet you Chris is just flabbergasted.
Oh, I'm so happy.
813. In fact, I bet you if I click that view current thing, it's a picture of a bunch of currants. 815. Did we ever discuss that on the air about currants? I guess we did a long time ago.
Yes.
Sure we did. They're like little red fruit. And they're very big in Denmark, in Copenhagen. Currants. Anyway, if you want to know something about South Florida, I think this story, even though, it's just one of those wrecks, and it's got a picture of the dump truck that, spilled over. Only 2 lanes of northbound 995 just north of State Road 84 were open as road workers tried to clear a traffic collision this morning that scattered gravel, oil, and diesel fuel across the highway. That would be a really good poll for you this summer. What do you like better, diesel fuel or diesel dikes?
Dikes.
The 7:15 a.m. accident at one point had only 1 lane open, turning the morning commute for many South Floridians into a stop-and-go mess. A nightmare. A freaking nightmare, baby. Traffic was backed up as far as south as Hallandale Beach Boulevard. By about 9:45 this morning, about a half an hour ago, another lane would be open. Now, here's the only reason I'm doing this story. Wait till you hear the names of the participants in this tragic event. A Kenworth dump truck heading north, driven by Jorge Enriquez, blew its front right tire and struck a 1988 Chevrolet truck driven by Pablo Rodriguez, according to the FHP. Now, you did not even making a sound, even with your mouth. I just find it's kind of interesting.
Sure.
Jorge Enriquez and Pablo Rodriguez.
That's right. No relations that I know of.
Pretty soon there won't be anybody living in South Florida whose last name doesn't end with a Z.
That is the goal.
With a Z. Is that the goal?
Project is coming along very nicely. Thank you very much.
I see. The Chevrolet pulling a small trailer that jackknifed careened to its right off a guardrail and landed into the 2 right lanes. The dump truck scraped the guardrail, struck a bridge wall, and tipped its load of gravel on the right shoulder of the road, said Sergeant Mark Y. Saki. Oh, I sure like his name. spokesman for the FHP. Oil and diesel leak from the dump truck's damaged fuel tank, according to the Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue. Enriquez, 48 of Hialeah, is being treated at Broward General for serious injuries. He was wearing a seatbelt. Enriquez was cited for failing to use due care. Well, that's not good then. You're making fun of this thing, but he's got serious injuries and he's in Broward General, which heaven help him. Rodriguez, 41 from Miami, was also wearing a seatbelt, was not injured. Authorities remain on the scene to clean up the debris left behind. That's the Sun Sentinel big breaking news. Uh-oh. Oh, emergency room death. I have that story for a little bit later on about that woman who bled to death. They said, well, she's a schlepper. We can't be bothered with her. That's American healthcare, like Michael Moore says. And does that movie start tomorrow, or is it a week from tomorrow? Sicko. Tomorrow,
I think a week from tomorrow.
Are you
sure? I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure.
I think you're wrong. Why don't you just Google Sicko, and I'm sure it'll tell you. Coming to a theater near you on Friday, June 15, which looks like tomorrow. I mean, I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Maybe second or third, I guess. Like about jealousy. Second or third time this week. 820 votes on the poll, man. You got the... We'll get to 1,000 by 1 o'clock easy. But what were you worrying about, Chris? You're just such a worrywart.
Yeah,
probably working with me too long. You get to be worrying. Or maybe working after that morning show. How's Toast and Robert Grieper doing, by the way? They still taking showers with Clarence? Clarence was awful friendly this morning, wasn't he?
Okay, sure.
To me. Came in and he wished me about 4 times. I would say about 30 times. Wished me a great vacation, have a great time, and come back in one piece. And we love you, kissy, kissy, kissy. And I said, well, who is the one that really, since now that we know for sure it wasn't Joyce who put the kibosh on that bit?
By the way,
and he said, I don't know.
June 29th. June 29th, but you'll have your copy in the mail by the time you get back from vacation.
June 29th is Sicko?
Yes.
Well, what was the other flick I was supposed to have a copy of and I never got?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. There was something really muy importante, something good, and I never got squat.
I don't remember.
I squatted a little bit, but recently there was something...
I don't remember. I smoke a lot, you know.
Oh, come on. Come on, Chris. What's out now that I was supposed to get a copy of? That would be really... oh, I know what it was. It's I don't have any idea.
Okay. Wasn't Spider-Man 3, was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, I don't have that.
Well, why not?
Because it's not out there yet.
Boy, you're sure. I'm going to tell you, your sources.
It's not up to me.
I sure hope your sources for weed aren't drying up as fast as your sources for illegal.
Understand this. If it's out there, I'll have it.
If it's out
Somebody
there.
has to put it out.
When in doubt, that's what I always say.
That's
When
right.
in doubt, put out. Put out. 829 vote on the poll. And guess what? Carl Winslow from Family Matters still don't have any votes. I don't even know which show that is. I know Family Ties,
Urkel.
Family Matters, Family...
Urkel.
Huh?
Urkel.
Family Feud. Urkel what?
Urkel the Jerkel. I guess that's it.
Urkel the Gerbil?
If you don't know from Urkel, then you're not going to know anything else about that show.
Oh. I don't know Family Matters. Sorry. Does it matter?
No, not at all.
Evidently not, because you don't have any votes. We got 829 votes, and he has nary a one. Not even uno. Robert Shear's got a really great column here, and he rips the hell out of Jew Lieberman. I think after the break I might have to delve into that. I mean, I could take, some really artsy-fartsy calls today because it is my last day before not only vacation, but the summer schedule begins. Because even though my vacation, I guess I could have taken an extra day, couldn't I? But I'm not going to do it. If I was smart, I would have taken an extra day. But actually, as it turns out, it works out well because I come back on a Sunday, and then I got Monday off because that's the week we start the Tuesday and Thursday deal.
Mm-hmm.
Just look on neilrogers.com. And don't forget to look out WQM.com starting at noon for those half-off gift certificates. We're going to be doing all kinds of different restaurants every week throughout the summer, isn't that it?
I guess. I don't know.
And for however long people are interested in, for however long people want to eat and save some money. And, of course, eating and saving money in South Florida sounds like a wiener to me. Elliot Spitzer's open in New York legalizing medicinal marijuana. That's it. Put a good Jewish boy in there, a good liberal Democrat in, and we're going to legalize everything in New York. Now, that's New York State, not to be confused with New York City, which George is very confused about.
Thanks for straightening
that
out.
I don't understand it because having been in New York City, which is one of the few places you've been to that's worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you notice how I know you've been in a lot of different places, but I said that's worthwhile, or at least used to be worthwhile.
Right.
I don't understand how you're so confused, but I guess never
because I didn't go to upstate New York.
I guess you've never been in Utica or Albany or Schenectady or Yonkers, even Yonkers.
See, people who've never been to either place, they hear New York,
Rochester,
it's like
Buffalo,
whatever. New York is
Oneonta,
New York.
Waterloo,
that state up there in the
Auburn,
Northeast, what's
Syracuse,
the difference? We don't know, we don't care.
Binghamton, Glens Falls, Penn Yan, or Geneva.
Did you say Fredonia?
Fredonia, Dunkirk, Depew, Hamburg, Cheektowaga, Tonawanda, Leroy, or Batavia. All of these places. You haven't been to any of them yet. Maybe that's what QM will do for you. They're not going to give you any more money for working extra in the summer, but maybe they'll send you an all-expense-paid trip to Batavia.
One way, I'm sure.
Give you some gambling money for Batavia Downs. I'm not really sure if they're still open anymore. They keep opening and closing, the buggy horses.
Mm-hmm. Tom, can you get me off the hook? For old time's sake.
Can't do it, Sally.
Don't call me Sally.
Yeah! Ain't ready. What's up, y'all? This your boy D-Mike. See, I usually do songs with, hooks and concepts and shit, right? But that, man, I'm trying to go platinum. So I'm about to rock this shit. Check this out, y'all. Read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. Not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book, yeah. Not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book, yeah. Not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book, yeah. Not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book that motherfucker. Read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Body needs water, so drink that. Body needs water, so drink that. Your body needs water, so drink that. Your body needs water, so drink that. Buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Where deodorant, 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 where deodorant. Coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. Read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, R-E-A-D-A-B-O.
1047 at 560 WQM. Just a sensational Thursday, June 14. Although that weather, man, I looked at that radar, it looks pretty nasty. Sun is shining here, it's beautiful. As I stick my tongue out. Can I give you that colon P thing, on the on the internet?
All right.
Stick my tongue out at you. Monopoly wasn't a game of chance until it became a scratch-off lottery ticket. Holiday, Florida. Where the hell is that?
Up yonder.
Pasco County. Where's Pasco County? On the West Coast.
North of us.
Oh. Well, isn't everything?
Yes.
For Patsy Jean Harris, winning $500 on such a ticket seemed a lucky break. She was scratching it. The odds of winning that kind of cash in $1 million Monopoly are 1 in 240, according to the Florida Lottery, and she got it. It wasn't a $1 million prize, but Harris was fortunate indeed. That is, until somebody snatched the winning ticket from her hand before she could collect the pot. Harris, 23, of Hudson, bought the $20 ticket Tuesday afternoon at the mobile station at 1940 US 19. Why do we need the address? A Pasco County Sheriff's report says she went outside to check the numbers. A few minutes later, she burst back into the store and excitedly announced she had won $500. All right. Harris asked store clerk Shilpa Patel whether she had enough money or on hand for an immediate payout. As Patel confirmed the ticket was a winner and counted bills from her cash drawer, another woman came from behind Harris and snatched the ticket out of her hand. She snatched it. Harris and a woman wrestled for the ticket, and the struggle spilled outside into the parking lot, where a third woman jumped in and started punching the lottery winner in the face.
Wow.
Woo! I guess $500 must be a lot of money up there in Holiday.
It's a lot down here, too.
Another customer, Maison Murray, 30, pulled the first woman off Harris, but the suspect, later identified as Whitney Flukes, managed to grab the ticket again, proving it was no fluke, and run away. The second suspect, who authorities say is Taylor Syme, took off running after Flukes East on Miles Stretch Road. Boy, I can just see this scene, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
Like something out of a damn Charlie Chaplin movie. Deputies quickly learned that a taxi driver had picked up the two women and dropped them off at 4639 Phoenix Avenue. Deputies surrounded the house according to arrest affidavits until both suspects came out and were arrested. At first, they denied being involved. Later admitted to the incident. The sheriff's report says Flukes reportedly told a deputy she heard Harris bragging about the winning lottery ticket, so Flukes whispered to Syme she wanted to rob this girl. Flukes also said she did it because she needed the money. Well, there's two good reasons, I guess, right there. She wanted to rob somebody and she needed the money. Goes gland in hand. Both women told deputies that Flukes gave the lottery ticket to Murray, who's an acquaintance. The report indicates that deputies interviewed Murray, but not whether they asked whether she had the ticket. Just where the ticket ended up also wasn't clear. Harris, a cook at a local diner, couldn't be reached for comment. Sounds like a real Hamish of town. The mobile surveillance video clearly depicted this incident, the report says. Outside, an evidence technician collected Flukes' T-shirt, silver chain, and silver ring, all of which he had lost in the altercation. Flukes, 20, of Tarpon Springs, and Syme, 19, of Holiday, each face a charge of strong-arm robbery. They were being held at the Land O'Lakes Jail yesterday with bail set at $10,000. The Land O'Lakes Jail. Isn't that a kind of butter?
Yeah,
Land O'Lakes butter,
sure.
huh?
Yep.
It sure is. Salted or unsalted, baby?
Salted.
Oh, no, not good.
No, but still,
Bad for you.
tastes better.
871, boy, you got 1,000 easy today. Chris can just sit back now. What's the deal with the food today?
We're getting karma.
Karma's coming in with the food, and of course
Yes.
we got those half-price certificates going on WQM.com starting at noon. So I would hop on that thing real fast, wouldn't you? Would you hop on it? Now, speaking of hopping on our poll, I don't think I can say that. Lori in Baltimore sends another fax. Now, what was the one that she sent the other day that got everybody got you bent out of shape? Oh, that's right.
No,
she said I'm right and you're wrong.
Right. It didn't get me
About
bent
New
out of
York.
shape because we were talking about two different things as usual.
No, we were talking about one thing, the fact that you don't know New York City from the rest of
No,
New
that's
York
what I
State.
said.
That's what we were talking
I said
about.
I don't know.
Well, you don't.
Right.
They don't have egg creams in upstate New York, and
Right.
they don't have White Hots in New York City. Got it?
Got it. Still
They don't have
care.
buffalo wings in Depew.
Still don't
I
know.
guess they probably do in
Nobody
Depew.
from New York State or city knows
Anyway,
or
Lori
cares.
says, good morning, Uncle Neil and George, so she's not holding it against you yet.
I still love it.
As I was pondering the poll last night, trying to choose between Cliff Huxtable and Gomez Adams. Oh, Lori. I realized the extensive list was short a few names. So here are the additional choices I can recall. And here's a whole bunch more. Now, are you putting these on there?
No?
You're not?
Well, I could.
Well, let me read them.
And by that I mean I
Gerald,
could give it to
Carl's
Chris.
dad on South Park. Randy, Stan's dad on South Park. Pete Griffin, a Family Guy. Tom Corbett in The Courtship of Eddie's Father. Isn't he on there?
I think so.
Yeah, he's on there. He's got 5 votes. Come on, Lori. Jesus, God Almighty. Maxwell Sheffield, the nanny. Oh, the nanny. Oy vey. Dr. Alex Stone, the Donna Reed Show. Uncle Bill Davis, Family Affair. It says, actually, I was rather partial to Mr. French. I don't know who any of these people are. Those shows. Fred Sanford from Sanford and Son. Now, he ought to be on there. Wouldn't you want Fred Sanford to be your daddy? At least he had a sense of humor. Danny Williams, Make Room for Daddy. That was Danny Thomas. He's long since dead. He was Lesbianese, I believe, or Syrian or something like that. Ask Marlo, she'll tell you. Ricky Ricardo, I Love Loosely. Lucy! And Rob Petrie from The Dick Van Dyke Show. Oh. The Dick Van Dyke Show and the Mary Tyler Moore Show and all that crap. And what's her name used to be on there, too? Rose Marie. That old dyke from the Hollywood Squares. Wasn't she an old dyke?
I don't know. She was old.
Well, she was on with Dick Van Dyke. I know that. A lot of dykes on that show. Ricky Ricardo. Now, we got to put him on there from I Love Loosely. You don't want to put him on? Lucy?
Absolutely. Sure.
My
Fun.
God. Absolutely?
Absolutely.
And who's the other one on here that I thought for sure? Hell, Fred Sanford. Well, you put on there whatever you want. I mean, give the thing to Chris and he can do whatever he wants.
How many minutes do you want on there?
I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. Because then if you put them all on there, it'll take me, if I start about 11:30 reading the poll result, by 1 o'clock I'll be done. And I'll say, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Just like John McLaughlin. Oh, there's your president.
That we must address all these concerns.
Yeah, address this. Put a stamp on it and mail it. 876 on the poll. I could read it. Let me just do the top a few here, okay? Because the rest of these are all... Homer Simpson. Which TV dad would you have preferred as your own? Homer Simpson from The Simpsons, 123. Even if he was...
Blaming.
Tony Soprano from The Sopranos is dropping down, 107. I guess they saw that bad ending, huh? The non-ending?
Yeah.
I don't want you bitching about David Chase all summer long. Well, go ahead.
Well, not all summer, just maybe...
all summer.
No,
tomorrow. All summer. Every day. Al Bundy, married with children, 63. So after the top two, it's way down. I'm only going to read the top few. Gomez Adams from the Adams Family, 60. Gomez Adams? What does
I guess
that
for
mean?
the fun factor, because the Adams Family was always doing kooky fun things.
So what's Gomez have to do with fun? Am I missing
And that
something?
means he's the dad that... And also they were rich, and the kids could do whatever the hell they wanted and get in all kinds of trouble, and it was just great.
Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement, 53. Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies, 53. That was Barnaby Jones. That was, what's his name?
Right.
Wasn't it?
Buddy Ebsen.
Buddy Ebsen. Well, what a yahoo, man. Good old Buddy Ebsen. Andy Taylor from the Andy Griffith Show, 40. And after that, Ward Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver, 32. And after that, nobody's got more than...
About 30, man.
Small, slim pickings.
That enforcement.
You know, I look at him and my stomach starts churning and my ass starts burning, and I just wish we would all be learning, you know. I wish a lot of people would have been learning, but of course I never voted for him. How about some of you folks, huh? Do you vote for this son of a bitch? That's what I'd like to know. This butcher, this murderer, this goofus, this lunatic. Because if you did, you got blood on your hands. I'd get some comic cleanser right now and go wash until you scrape 2 layers of skin off. That's what I would do. Don't you think they ought to be doing it right now?
Sure.
They ought to be scrubbing it. They probably are.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Yes.
Bye-bye, Cindy, Cindy, bye-bye. Thanks for trying and wasting your time. I can't blame you for saying I've had it. Everyone's brains are washed automatically. What they say, go ahead and they care more about American Idol and getting spoon-fed mindless smile. They won't know till it hits home or bad. Cindy, go home, relax, girl. Why even try?
902 votes on the poll. This is the hour you go for 1,000, boy, and I was worried about doing it by 1 o'clock. Boy, am I foolish or what?
Yes.
I know it. Anyway, it's 11:02 at QM. Mad Dog coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And is he getting paid or what? Did he ever get paid yet?
No.
How about the Chicken Neck?
No.
Come on. I thought we were making progress on that this week.
KJ hasn't gotten paid in a long time either. He just wanted to mention in passing.
What is going on in that place? They just don't pay anybody except me. And as
No.
long as they keep paying me, that's all I care about. I don't want to be selfish or sound like, but as long as that check keeps showing up nice and early, you guys are going to have to pull up your britches and, grin and bear it. Remember I said Robert Scheer had a great column ripping Jew Lieberman an ass? Well, here it is.
All right.
President Lieberman, a cautionary tale, says Bobby Scheer. What if Al Gore had won the 2000 presidential election but died in office? Would President Joe Lieberman have been worse than George W. Bush? His recent actions suggest that he could have descended even lower in his illogical and immoral responses to the tragedy of 9/11. Although now an independent, Lieberman provides a cautionary tale for folks who talk of backing any Democrat who can win. At a time when even President Bush has recognized the need for negotiations with Iran in order to stabilize Iraq, where disciples of Tehran's Ayatollahs have risen to power, thanks to the U.S. occupation he fervently supports, Lieberman urges war with Iran. I think we've got to be prepared to take aggressive military action against the Iranians to stop them from killing Americans in Iraq, he told CBS on Sunday, and to me that would include a strike over the border into Iran. He never learns. This is the joker who bought the Ahmed Chalabi line that invading Iraq would result in a pro-West and pro-Israel democracy, with Chalabi, who later failed to get 1% of the vote, playing Iraq's George Washington. For 5 years before 9/11, Lieberman pushed funding for Chalabi's exile organization to lead the overthrow of Saddam Hussein. Lieberman was also a principal author of the 1998 Iraq Liberation Act, which threw $100 million in Chalabi's direction. Even as late as June 2004, when Chalabi was exposed by the U.S. as a spy for Iran, Lieberman continued to profess admiration for the architect of a policy that replaced the secular despot of Iraq with a Shiite fundamentalist trained in Iran. I met Dr. Chalabi and others of the Iraq National Congress, he said in a speech defending Chalabi after U.S. intelligence uncovered his contacts with Iranian spies. It's fair to say I found them to be patriotic Iraqis. Their counsel was important, he said. In fact, Chalabi's counsel concerning Iraq's WMD program and ties to al-Qaeda turned out to be totally fraudulent and as embarrassing to the U.S. as it was convenient to Iran's plans to overthrow Hussein. And by the way, Professor, I'm leaving at 1 o'clock, so just relax, okay? Keep your pantaloonies on, or not, as the case may be. Lieberman's statement in support of Chalabi came 2 months after the National Security Agency reported that Chalabi informed Iranian agents that the U.S. had broken Tehran's encryption code. At the time of the revelation, Chalabi traveled freely within Iran, where he maintained a residence. Despite Lieberman's warm endorsement of Chalabi, a person of strength, principle, and real commitment, the Bush administration ended his monthly $340,000 stipend. Chris would take that. He'd take $340,000 a month to be a crook. Even George might consider that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Having fallen for the Iranian plot to gain control over Iraq, Lieberman now seeks to undo the damage by invading Iran. He's apparently unaware of public warnings that key Shiite leaders in Iraq would take up arms again in support of their co-religionists across the border. Indeed, the Iranian arms being smuggled into Iraq that Lieberman complains about are going to the Shiite militias dominating America's surrogate government in Baghdad. Bush seems to grasp this reality, which is why the U.S. is now negotiating with the Iranian ambassador in Baghdad, leaving Lieberman to play the role of a hawkish critic of an administration he apparently feels has lost its enthusiasm for yet another disastrous invasion. This is a man whom leading Democrats, including Bill Clinton, supported in his primary campaign against an intelligent Democrat who sought to end the Iraq nightmare. But as those any Democrat is better apologists will likely argue, Lieberman as president would have conducted the occupation in a more measured manner, sensitive to civil liberties and other enlightened concerns. That conceit was also smashed on Monday when Lieberman voted against holding Attorney General Alberto Gonzales accountable for sabotaging the federal judiciary. At a time when Arlen Specter and 6 other Republicans voted to advance a no-confidence vote, Lieberman supported the Attorney General, who may well be remembered most for his consistent support of torture. No surprise there, given Lieberman's previous apologies for the administration's assault on the rule of law. Indeed, even after the revelations of torture at
Abu Ghraib,
Lieberman was able to find a bright spot, noting that those who were responsible for killing 3,000 Americans on September 11th never apologized. Great, so now we're to be comforted by exceeding the standard set by Osama bin Laden. Lieberman also failed to acknowledge in a statement that the perpetrators of 9/11 had nothing whatsoever to do with Iraq before the invasion. The same can be said for Iran, but that doesn't quiet Lieberman's cry for a wider war. Down with you, Lieberman, baby. Chubben and Dreard. That's what I say. That's right. Makes me want to gag. Makes me want to caca. Makes me want to start eating stale Hamantaschen, which are strictly for Goyim. Those little triangular ones. You don't get them anymore, do you?
Nope.
Well, that's the way it goes. Okay, let's see how many votes we got here. Well, you know, life isn't just one party and one vacation. You know, you can't be on vacation all the time.
Why not?
All I'm doing, I'm giving it my best shot. I'm doing the damn best I can under almost impossible circumstances. And we had a really nice trend there, too, the last time, even though you were out while you were on vacation.
Right.
Seems like everybody and their brother's on vacation, and I'm still sitting here working till 1 o'clock. That blows to me. See, if I was smart, I would have just taken off today and left it in your capable hands. And you could have ripped David Chase the whole 4 hours.
Smart wouldn't have been the word.
And said, boy, that show really blows, man, that Sopranos that you were always touting, you know?
Right. It used to be good. The first 3 seasons
I never paid
were great.
attention to you. Because I watched 10 minutes of that one episode, and I said, this is Guido Heaven, or Guido Hell, excuse me. It's Guido Hell. Here's the poll. We'll get 1,000 this hour. I'm confident. We got 913 now. Chris, we're building toward a gigantic and enormous number of votes.
Awesome.
Which TV dad, cut the crap. Which TV dad would you have preferred as your own? Homer Simpsons, Homo Simpson of The Simpsons, 129.
Blaming.
Wow. He's in a tight battle with Tony Soprano of The Sopranos. The only reason Tony's doing so well is because everybody's talking about David Chase and what a jackass he is, and how horrible and unacceptable and grotesque that last episode was. Isn't that what you're saying?
Yes.
That just ended like... It would be like me saying, hey, how
Right.
Like
Exactly
that.
like that.
Like that.
It'd be
And
like
they're stopping in midstream, baby.
Like going to a restaurant and you're like halfway through your steak, haven't even touched your potatoes au gratin, and they take the plate away from you.
Your potatoes are rotten, yeah.
Yeah, that was rotten.
I can think of some steaks that if I would have quit halfway through, I'd have been ahead of the game. But that's beside the point. We can't talk about that. Because then they'll want to know, well, where was that, Neil? And I'll say,
right.
Kirk says, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, I'm so sorry, Kirk.
No, don't be. He's in a better place than us.
But my friend just called from West Palm Beach. He said he had a pig report, I-95 southbound at North Lake Boulevard. State troopers, motorcycles, undercover porkers, too many to count. Please pass it on. We're getting pig reports in West Palm Beach by way of Charlotte, North Carolina. Listening on the net in the Bible Belt, have a great vacation. Thank you, Kirk. Kirk is the first person who said, well, I mean, at least on a fax. I mean, obviously, on my space, in your face, and in my place, I got a couple of my close personal friends said, have a great time in Amsterdam, which I thank them profusely. And guess what? Just to make them happy, I will. Just to prove that I'm not a sour old puss. Thanks, Kirk. That's a nice sentiment. And, of course, we could be taking a zillion phone calls because I know they'd all say, oh, have a great vacation, Neil. We're really going to miss you this summer when little George is on there. And, of course, probably Fat Jolly Joe would be putting them all up to it anyway. Can we get back to reading this poll and no more silly faxes? Thanks anyway, Kirk. A pig report from West Palm Beach by way of Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't think we ever had one of those before, did we?
No, we never have.
Are we making some
By the way,
progress or what?
Charlotte is a fantastic place with great radio stations, plural.
WBT?
Right, great economy, living and breathing
WBT,
people.
50,000 watts, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Right.
10, what is it, 10,
I don't know.
40? 1050? No, 1050 is Chum. What is WBT? Look it up, WBT, Charlotte, North Carolina. I should know those things. Once upon a time, back when I worked in radio, I knew all of those things, all the big 50,000-watt giants. And when you live like in a civilized place, which leaves Florida out, at nighttime you can hear all the big 50K, all the clear channel stations.
It's a simulcast now, 1110 AM and 99.3 FM.
1110, that's it. WBT, Charlotte. They always carried like University of North Carolina Spoats, stuff like that. Stuff that nobody was interested in unless you went to the University of North Carolina. The Tar Heels, isn't that it, Chris, the Tar Heels?
That's correct.
Well, screw them. Al Bundy, married with children, 69. Gomez Adams from the... I think somebody made that up, and you're just playing with me, because, I'm...
So you never watched the show. They were rich. The kids could do whatever the hell they want.
Gomez Adams. I'm not asking why he got the votes. I'm just asking that name. Who the hell knows that
it's
name?
Gomez Adams.
You didn't know he was a spick?
A what?
A spick on that show, querida. He was always speaking Spanish to
So let me ask you, do
Morticia.
spicks eat Spam?
I don't know.
Gomez Adams, the Adams Family, 61. I'm just doing 50 plus. Anybody who's Tim the Toolman Taylor, Home Improvement, 55, and Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies, 54. What a grotesque selection that is.
Jed was also rich, but people forget that he didn't share his money with Jethro or any of his kin.
His kin?
Bogus vote there.
I see. Well, there you go. That's what we got so far, and we'll have that 1,000 lickety-split if I can. Can we still say that?
The two-faced windbag manager of WQAM and one-time boardwalk pitchman, Jolly Joe Bell.
Ho, ho! How did I know that? Went by the name of Shoeless Joe Bell back then. Ho, ho! Why, I still have a case of Rolex knockoffs in my trunk. Ho, ho, ho. Let's get right to your calls now, shall we?
Is this Joseph Felicia May Bell?
Joe Bell here.
This is a courtesy call from American Express. Your account is 6 months delinquent. When can we expect you to make a payment?
What's your question?
The question, Mr. Bell, is when
Oh,
can we
I've got a
expect
car
payment?
here. Oh, hello?
Yes, is this Joseph Bocephus Bell?
Joe Bell here.
Mr. Bell, we're about to foreclose on your house. How soon can we expect?
Who are you? What's the meaning of this?
We're from the IRS. Give us your belongings and come with us, please.
So, what are you in for, chum?
MWI.
MWI? You were drunk when you managed?
Oh, no. I was under the influence that I could. I'm ruined. They took everything. All I have left is my virginity.
A virgin, huh?
Yeah, a little joke.
Oh, look. I dropped $1.
Oh, I'll get it. Hey, what are you, bitch?
I said squeal.
And in honor of a fat-ass Jolly Joe.
Ain't no
Fart sounds anymore. Just a little bit for old time's sake. What do you say? Just to reminisce.
Ain't no fun sounds
Like before, and it wasn't Joyce that put the kibosh on that. I just want the audience to know that, because even though we hate her like poison and wish her an evil, wicked death, nevertheless, we can't lay that one on her fat ass, can we? Somebody in corporate, I guess, decided, Joyce is going to get all bent out of shape about that and probably sue us. We better make sure he don't play that crap again, or something like that. Or maybe fat-ass Jolly Joe just made it up.
It's possible.
No, it is not possible. Do you think he could make a decision like that?
Well, Clarence said that nobody in this building made that decision, remember?
That is correct. That was his non-answer to my question. Well, who was it then? Well, it wasn't anybody in this building. Ho, 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 like that. He's starting to do the same thing as Jolly Joe now. He's doing that same ho, 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 like Santa Claus. Maybe Clarence is like a Jewish Santa Claus. Maybe he can show up on Chinooka time and come down the chimney. And hopefully there'll be a big fire in the fireplace when he does. 935 on that poll. That's really nice. Oh, and look at this. Did you see the new poll? Bush is down to like about 2%. As President Bush attempts to revive the controversial immigration reform bill he supports, the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll finds that Republicans are abandoning the president, which has dropped his job approval rating below 30%.
About 30, man.
His lowest mark ever in this survey. To which we say, it's about freaking time. But he isn't the only one whose support is in decline. In the poll, Congress's approval rating has plummeted 8 points, bringing it even below Bush's. The public is disgusted and fed up and nauseated with these mumser bastards. And just 1 in 5 believe the country's on the right track, which is the lowest number on this question in nearly 15 freaking years. Republican pollster Neil Newhouse, who conducted the survey with Democratic pollster Peter D. Hart, argues that these numbers have crossed well below the political Mendoza line, referring to the feeble 200 batting average mark in baseball. The Mendoza line, named after Mario Mendoza. You know who he was, Chris? He played shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay.
But do I know my crap or what?
What?
I know my crap is what I said, mister. What you know about Mario Mendoza, I could shove in a thimble and have room for a fat boy in there.
Who?
With the mood of the country dropping below 20 and the president's approval below 30, both are candidates for sort of a political Mendoza line, they be saying. In the poll, Bush's approval rating is at just 29%. It's a drop of 6 points since April and represents his lowest mark ever in this question in the NBC Journal poll. Democratic pollster Jay Campbell, who works with Hart, attributes this decline to Republicans. Back in April, 75% of Republicans approved of Bush's job performance. How very sad, how very stubborn, how pathetic, compared with only 21% who disapproved. Now, only 62% of Republicans approve, 32% disapprove. They say, he bad. He be bad, baby. He be real bad. And you're right, he'd be bad. This drop comes as Bush tries to resuscitate the comprehensive immigration reform bill of the U.S. Senate, which basically says, hey, y'all come on in now. We need that. Our good friends at big business need that cheap labor.
That's right.
We'll give you like a green card, a yellow card, American Express card, whatever you need. 57 Chevy. And if you promise to vote for Republicans, we'll give you like a voting card, too. The immigration bill has angered many Americans, especially conservatives, because they believe its provisions allowing for a path to citizenship for illegal immigrants amounts to amnesty. Bush and other supporters of the legislation dispute that charge because they're a bunch of liars. This is a highly emotional issue, Bush said to the legislation office, and I don't want to go on and read about his crap. Nobody wants to hear that. Turning to the 2008 presidential election, Hillary Clinton has widened her lead in the contest for the Democratic nomination, which is very, very sad. And Fred Thompson, the former Tennessee GOP senator, who's established a Testing in the Waters presidential committee, comes in a surprising second. And you want to know why? Because he was on television, dummy. Just like Howard Beale. In the Democratic race, Clinton's got a 14-point lead over Barack Obama, 39 to 25%. And that's because the Democrats have a death wish. She couldn't, well, whatever. They're followed by former North Carolina Senator John Edwards with the snappy haircut at 15%. No other Democratic candidate registers at more than 4%. In April, she had just a 5-point lead over Obama, and 36-31, now it's 39-25. That is not good. It appears that Obama's not been able to follow up his initial surge with a second act, says Newhouse, the GOP pollster. Being an exciting and inspirational choice to the Democrats seems not enough to overcome Hillary's experience and credentials, and the fact her last name is Clinton. That's the whole thing she's got going. Her last name is Bubba. Hillary's lead has certainly strengthened, Campbell adds. As of right now, people seem to think she is the direction they want to go in. Oh, fat. I'd run the other way faster, and you can say Janet Reno's driving that pickup truck right at me. In the GOP field, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani leads the pack with 29. Fred Thompson is second with 20%. And Massachusetts Governor the far-distant Mitt Romney and John McCain tied at third, 14 points each. The top two Democrats, though, seem to have an upper hand in potential matchups against the two Republicans. According to this latest poll, Clinton leads Giuliani 48-43, and Obama tops Thompson 50-31. 50-31. In fact, Obama beats them all. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me. He does the best against the Republicans in every one of these polls, and yet she's leading his race by, I mean, come on.
The fix is in.
Democratic death wish.
They don't want to run him. He might win.
Are you suggesting that we have fixed elections in America? I would say that you are
Absolutely correct, sir.
out of line, mister. Next you're going to be ripping David Chase for that swill he put on HBO the other night. Thank God I didn't watch
him
that.
So hard.
Would you?
Yeah.
I bet you'd have to get through a long line.
Oh, yeah. I'll wait in line.
Which TV dad would you have preferred as your own? That's our poll question today. Don't forget at noon we do that WQM.com thing. I just thought I would mention that with the 50% off at the, which is the first one, Karma?
Is that it?
Is your food coming in yet, or what's the deal?
No, noonish, we expect it.
Noonish?
Yes.
Peter Noonish?
If you must.
Remember Peter Noon and the Herman's Hermits? Mrs. Brown, you've got Mrs. Lovely, you've got a brown daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Homer Simpson from The Simpsons is kicking ass, baby. He's got 130. How come I never play those Simpson drop-ins? I just played that one.
I don't know.
Huh?
Oh,
like the flaming
finally. Gil's moving up to the big leagues, boy.
He prefers the company of men.
Who doesn't? Feeling stupid?
Yeah.
I know I am.
Me too. Doctor Peter Noon. They said he never took a bath and he looked like it. He was cute, but he never bathed. Cute and don't smell good is not a good combination. Anything and don't smell good is really an ultra bad combination.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I can talk about baby with the best of them. I can hit the post with the most. Anyway, here's the... You can let it go. Go ahead. What? Kind of a hush? There's kind of a hush.
Kind of a
hush. All over the world. I mean, could he sing or what, huh? He's cute. Cute, but he smelled real bad. He never bathed. He was screwing his brains out. Anything with a skirt on, man. And even if it was a guy with a skirt on, he was just out of control. That was Peter Noon. So they said. I mean, I don't know these things, firsthand. Even secondhand. Secondhand Rose. Is that all you got, Herman's Vermin?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, you got more?
Sure.
No milk today.
No milk today? I don't think I have that. That's not Herman's Hermits, is it?
Dandy, where you gonna go now?
Yeah, talk about a dandy, baby.
Who you gonna run to? All your little life.
Have you got no milk today? I mean, we got that don't we have no milk today? What's the chicken that fit on that? No something today. What is it?
No milk today was someone else, my friend.
No milk today was not someone else. You're saying that Herman's Vermin didn't do it?
Oh, this is the remix. Well, I don't have it. I'll have to go find it.
You're telling me that Herman's Hermits didn't do no milk today? I will bet you
$80
gazillion against a dime.
No, I'm not arguing with that. It just didn't come up, so I'll have to go get it.
Well, I bet you if you listened to it, probably several meals would come up.
Probably. We'll find out.
Let's take a look and see if we're going to make that 1,000 this hour. That would be a real feather in Chris's ass. 948. Go good with that Indian headdress, too, by the way.
Absolutely.
She's got the lowest ratings on the evening news. Even against reruns of Yeehaw, she'd lose. CBS executives are feeling sick. Nobody is watching Katie Couric. There are rumors that she's a cougar in the sack. But she can't be happy because she's way in the back. Bet she wants to bash her head in with a brick. Nobody is watching Katie Couric. Katie can't be dancing or Williams. Pounding down the pesto and the tongue. Bet she wishes she never left the Today Show. Cause on CBS she's hitting all-time low. SpongeBob SquarePants has better numbers on Nick. Nobody is watching Katie Couric. Katie, poor news lady, Katie. Future shady, Katie. Poor news chick. Nobody is watching Katie Couric. So you'll log as more people watching. is all of the crew diarrhea and stress. Crazy little earring-wearing lunatic. Nobody is watching Katie correct.
No.
Hey, how low can Katie's ratings go? They are way too low. Man, I bet they wish they had their rather back. 'Cause they need a liar to get things on track. But if they can't get him, how about Alan Thicke? 'Cause nobody is watching Katie correct. She's going down like the Titanic. Down, way down. Nobody's watching Katie correct.
Watch out for the stunt ending now.
Way down.
Just like The Sopranos. Way down. Like that, yeah. Maybe that'll be the new deal now. Can't you imagine it going to be? Because it's always monkey see, monkey do. There's nobody with original
Monkey
ideas
do.
out there. Monkey do, that's right.
Caca.
That's what it smelled like, I guess, the ending of The Sopranos. People are like heaving and hurling all around the continent because David Chase pissed them off. Well, too bad. That'll teach you to get hooked on a Guido thing. You know?
That's right.
I'm not big on Guido stuff.
I know.
Give me 2 pounds of provolone and
Gabagool.
half a pound of capagool.
Where's
And
the gabagool?
you know.
I
That's
love
gotta do with
it.
Italian, man. One thing about when you go to Italy, George, you'll discover nobody says capacool and nobody talks Guido in Italy.
All right.
They're like real Italiani. I'm leaving right now, as a matter of fact. The hell with this 1 o'clock crap.
No. Slacker.
Now, speaking... Oh, that's all he cares about is when does the show end and when his vacations start and when does he get that big check. Now you're talking, Granny. Now you got it. Now you finally got your finger in it, honey. Get it out of there, please. Okay, what do we got on that poll, Chris? 960. I remember 950, WBBF in Rochester, home of the Busy Bees. How many times have I mentioned that? About 50,000? See, when you're on the air for 100 years, you know, you repeat a lot of stuff. But the good part of it is most of the rest of the folks out there forgot about it already. Joe Dean and Mort, what was the guy's name on that station? I was going to say Mort Nussbaum. I mean, did anybody use a name like that on the air, Mort Nussbaum? I don't think so. That's too Jewish. Joe Dean was on there, though, on WBBF, the home of the Busy Bees in Rochester, New York, 950 on the dial. Pretty crappy station. Anyway, speaking of Katie, Katrina Vanden, can I do this, or are you going to start posturing around with me now? You're going to start messing with my emotions now that you know I've only got an hour and 26 minutes until I get out of here and go on vacation. I mean, not that I'm counting you, understand?
Right.
I could get the digital clock on there and do seconds, too, if that would make you happy. But I don't want to start with that yet. Although.
1 moment, please, before you read that article.
11:35:05. What? An hour, 24 minutes, and 50 seconds and counting. When asked about his view, this is Katrina Vanden Heuvel. Oh, no milk today. That's not it. That's a ripoff. That's
No milk today, my love.
Everyone's gone away. It's Austin Bay. Because old Neil is gay. What? Can I read this article by Katrina Vanden Heuvel from The Nation? This is a serious article, and you're potsking around with Herman's vermin, for Christ's sakes. Jesus, God Almighty, it's going to be a long summer for some. Not for this girl, I'll tell you that. When asked about his view of CBS Evening News during a radio interview with MSNBC's Chuck Scarborough on Monday, Dan Rather said network executives had tried to boost ratings by dumbing it down and tarting it up. Attaboy, Dan, you go. Stick it to him, Danny boy. The media firestorm that's followed illustrates the very point. The larger point Rather has consistently tried to make about the degradation of the mainstream corporate news biz and the obliteration of the line between news and entertainment. Watch as CBS dances, deflects, and dodges the valid and valuable criticism levied by Rather and plenty of other media watchdogs. Les Moonves, CBS CEO, called Rather's remarks sexist and said, "Let's give Katie a break." Yeah, let's break her neck. But it's got nothing to do with Katie Couric, nor does it really have anything to do with the messenger, Rather, whose colorful native Texan speak has got him into hot water in the past, much as it did for late former Governor Ann Richards. It's about the message. Rather's predecessor at CBS, Walter Cronkite, no fan of Rather himself, offered a similar take in a recent keynote address. That was his take. According to AP, Cronkite suggested that the pressure for profits is threatening the very freedom the nation was built upon. It's not just the journalist's job to risk here, Cronkite said. It's American democracy. It's freedom. Freedom, baby. You can't even fart anymore. There's no freedom, is what it's all about. Am I right?
Right.
Can't even fart. Fart sounds anymore. Freedom is something out of the past. It's a fig Newton of your imagination, baby. It don't exist no more. And in a recent New York Times op-ed, FCC Commissioner Michael Copps warned of pressure from media conglomerates that has made licensing renewals for the free use of the public airways a virtual rubber stamp every 8 years. He contrasts this with the past when every 3 years the requirement that networks serve the public interest was given a hard look prior to deregulatory mania of the 80s. As for Rather, in these last 4 years, he's been a consistent critic of the corporate media and his own role in it. He's self-critical enough, unlike so many others, to know that he weaved and wavered in the run-up to the Iraq War. As he told Bill Moyers, I don't think there's any excuse for, my performance and the performance of the press in general in the roll-up to the war. There were exceptions. There were some people who I think did a better job than others, but overall, and in the main, there's no question that we didn't do a good job. We weren't smart enough, we weren't alert enough, we didn't dig enough, and we shouldn't have been fooled in this way, Danny Boy said. Rather has also described a culture of fear that permeates the newsroom. In an interview with BBC, he said it's an obscene comparison. I'm not sure I like it, but there was a time in South Africa that people would put flaming tires around people's necks if they descended. And in some way, the fear is that you'll be necklaced here. You'll have a flaming tire of lack of patriotism put around your neck. A flaming. Now it is the fear that keeps journalists from asking the toughest of the tough questions and to continue to bore in on the tough questions so often. And again, I'm humbled to say I don't accept myself from this criticism, Danny Boy said. And speaking to Moyers, he said, fear is in every newsroom in this country. And fear of what? Well, a combination of if you don't get along, if you don't go along to get along, you're going to get the reputation of being a troublemaker. There's also the fear, especially in networks, they become huge international conglomerates. They have big needs, legislative needs, repertory needs in Washington. Nobody's got to send you a memo to tell you that's the case. And it puts a seed in your mind of, well, if you stick your neck out, if you take the risk of going against the grain with your reporting, is anybody going to back you up? Recently, NBC News led its evening news program with 2.5 minutes on Paris Hilton. Coverage of Anna Nicole Smith topped Iraq War coverage on the networks night after night. There is no question that the network news programs have become cogs in a conglomerate machine where news is a profit center. We desperately need a news media that raises the tough questions, acts as watchdogs of the public interest, questions authority, performs the basic duties required of a free press and democracy. A flawed media leads to a flawed democracy. And in these past 6 or so years, with some notable exceptions, the media has been too easily intimidated by an administration that used fear to make its case for the war, labeled its critics un-American, quashed dissent, perverted the meaning of patriotism, and brazenly, on all fronts, subverted the Constitution. As longtime Washington White House correspondent Helen Thomas wrote in The Nation, reporters lapped up everything the Pentagon or the White House could dish out, no questions asked, no punches pooed. So now when Dan Rather talks about dumbing down news in order to tart it up, it ain't about Dan, it ain't about Katie. It's about consolidation, conglomeration, and the impact on the Fourth Estate in our democracy, says Katrina Vanden Heuvel in The Nation. And I can actually say The Nation, and it doesn't sound like I'm talking mush out of my mouth like George W. A wonderful nation. The way, the way he says that?
Like he says everything.
Yeah. Like he's trying to articulate even though he's inarticulate. Follow what I'm saying? How can you be articulate when you're inarticulate? Don't make no sense to this old queen. 975 on the poll. By the end of this hour, we're going to have 1,000, and we all sit back and just take a deep breath.
You drudge packing?
I just saw a big sign at the side of the road that said the price per gallon is $4. I got an SUV that's as big as a whale, and I can't believe that gas is $4. I got me a Hummer, and the mileage is crummy, so pony up some more of your gasoline money. Yeah, $4 is a really high price to pay for gasoline. $4, $4, can you believe that? Whining and screaming, swearing and crying. I may have to siphon 'cause I can't afford buying. $4 is crazy. $4 is crazy, but everybody's having to pay and to pay and to pay and to pay. $4, oh no, $4.
Thank you, Mr. President, for those really low, sweet gas prices. Thank you so much for all the dead people and all the blood and all the hatred around the world for America and all of these things. All of these
things.
Wondrous things of which we could have never dreamed. Back while you were busy with your associates stealing not one but two elections. Nice work. 11:46, 14 till noon in the QAM. How many votes we got, Chris? 983? Did I see that? 983. Well, I'm telling you, what a memory, huh? In fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the entire list just from memory. 986. I'll get as far as Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
I got, what's his name? Homo Simpson. Governor Elliot Spitzer of New York, in a reversal of a campaign position, said yesterday he could support legislation legalizing the use of marijuana for certain medicinal purposes. They're going to throw his ass in a hoosgow, baby. He better watch himself. The governor's position comes as lawmakers stepped up a push in the final 2 weeks of the 2007 session for New York to join 12 other states and allow marijuana for those suffering from cancer, multiple sclerosis, and other painful conditions. In a debate last summer, Spitzer said he opposed medical marijuana. Now, he said he's open to the idea after being swayed by advocates in the past couple of months. On many issues, hopefully you learn, you study, you evolve. This is one where I had as a prosecutor a presumption against the use of any narcotic which wasn't designed purely for medicinal and medical effect. And now there are ways that persuaded me it can be done properly, the governor told reporters. He's seen the light. He smoked a big fat one, maybe. In 2005, lawmakers were close to a measure legalizing medical marijuana, but dropped the effort after a U.S. Supreme Court ruling said that the federal government could prosecute cases against those using marijuana in states that had legalized its use. But after federal officials signaled no desire to prosecute individual patients using marijuana, a slowly growing number of states has begun moving ahead again to permit the drug to be used in tightly controlled circumcises. There's nothing worse than a tight circumcise. Advocates who include groups representing physicians, nurses, and hospices liken medicinal marijuana to morphine and other drugs that are used to treat pain but are otherwise illegal on the streets. Morphine, baby, that's what you need when you work at QAM. Morphine. Get the needle, Watson. Don't you think we could use that every morning around 9:45?
Some morphine? Love some. Got some?
A measure pending in the Assembly would permit the drug's use for life-threatening illnesses and diseases, which could include everything from cancer and AIDS to hepatitis C, any other conditions designated by the State Health Commissioner, a provision the Spitzer administration insisted on.
I got hepatitis C.
You're going to start messing around with people with disease now? You're going to start making light of people with hepatitis, huh?
Sure.
Start doing
sure,
that?
Why not? Like Pam
Skank,
Anderson, Lee, hepatitis C.
That's right. I forgot that. What's her name? Paris Hilton's got chirpies in the ass.
Pam's a pus-dripping whore.
What the hell she got to do? Well, she's got chirpies too, Pam.
She's got something.
But she's Canadian, eh? She's Canadian.
Yeah.
We give her a free pass. She's probably passing something.
I know.
987 on a poll. But I'll tell you one thing. They're trying to make a liar out of me. I thought for sure we'd have the 1,000 by noon. Not that makes any difference, but all of a sudden maybe Eric is breaking it again. You think, Chris?
Probably.
You can smell that burning rubber, man. He's breaking it big time. Get your foot off the pedal, Eric. Although, nice job he did there on that vacation thing on NeilRogers.com. And coming up to noon, which means the 50% off on those certificates is coming up, too, on WQAM.com. I should mention that. So that Duff will be real nice. Mm-hmm. And maybe bring you guys some food. In fact, Karma's sending in lunch for you guys today is what I'm hearing through the grapevine.
Right.
Well,
Can't
that'll
wait.
Be fine. That'll
but
be
we
really
will.
nice. Which TV dad would you have preferred as your own? I guess I'll read the whole thing now, and then the whole list again just before 1, and then that's all the time we got.
See, there he goes again. He's just, it's disgusting.
Just like that poll yesterday with 123 people saying I'm making too much money. Too bad. Jealous. I've got the entire universe to support, okay? I can't take no pay cut to make some of you jealous people happy. Homer Simpson they would rather have as their favorite dad from The Simpsons, 132. Tony Soprano, 116. In spite of that grotesque, unacceptable ending in last episode. Al Bundy, Married with Children, 75. Tim the Toolman Taylor, Home Improvement, 63. Gomez Adams from the Addams Family, 62. It just, I don't know, I keep reading that, and each time I read it, it's just, because I didn't know where you really watched the show, you know. Jackie Coogan was in it.
Right.
And that bald-headed guy, was that Jackie Coogan?
That was Jackie Coogan, Uncle Fester.
Fester?
Yeah, it was cute. It was not funny.
Sounds like a Goyish family to me. Jed Clampett, the Beverly Hillbillies, 58. Those were definitely all Goyim. Andy Taylor, the Andy Griffith Show, 48. Ward Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver, 38. Cliff Huxtable from the awful Cosby Show, 32. What is it about Bill Cosby?
I mean,
he was okay in Streets of San Francisco. That isn't the show he was on.
He was funny a long time ago.
He was on I Spy with Robert Culp, am I right?
Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids was funny, and he had some stand-up that was funny, but then
those Jello, I think when he started to go downhill was those Jello pudding spots.
There's no question.
That was the end of Bill Cosby as we knew him.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Cartwright from Bonanza, 29. Are they all dead? Is there anybody still alive from that crew?
Not that I know.
Haas is dead. Pernell Roberts is dead. Michael Landon is long dead. Even he turned Jewish, didn't help. Ben Cartwright's got 30. Herman Munster from the Munsters, 26. Archie Bunker, 24. Howard Cunningham from Happy Days, 23. Red Foreman from That 70 Show, 18. Sandy Cohen from the OC, 17. Sandy Cohen? There's a Jewish daddy on TV? I don't believe that.
Marty's brother.
Marty Cohen?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are.
Bougaron? Martin Crane from Frasier, 17. Yes, I am. Steve Douglas, My Three Sons, 15. Oh, yeah. If he would have been my daddy, Robbie would have been my brother. Oh, boy. I'd be in jail right now. Oh, wow. What a thought that is. See, that's me. Everything always comes back to that. The old fag. That's all you know from, man, is lust. John Walton from the Waltons, 14. I never lusted for John Boy, I'll say that. Maybe it was that big lump he had on his head. Was it? What's that?
Melanoma.
What's that, John Boy? George Jetson from the Jetsons, 14. Fred Flintstone, 14. Lucas McCain from the Rifleman, 12. 13. Whatever he's got. Dan Connor from Roseanne, 13. Now, who the hell would watch that?
It was all right.
Philip Drummond from Different Strokes, 12. Jim, according to Jim, 11. Jim Anderson, Father Knows Best, 10. Boy, what a coma-inducing show that was. All the characters were like on Doggy Downers. Phil Banks, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 9. You know who else was like that? Ozzy on Ozzy and Harriet. He was just like that.
Like
never got excited, never got angry, never got worked up. Always was in that very low, in like that. He was feeling mighty low. Steve Keaton from Family Ties, 8. George Jefferson, 8. He should have a lot more than that. At least we'd have a few laughs.
I think that's
Frank
a racial
Costanza from Steinfeld, 8. Bernie Mac McCullough from the Bernie Mac Show, 7. Tom Bradford from 8 is enough, 6. That was a show with Willie Ames, I bet. See, that's all I know.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Ozzie and Nelson, Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, 6. That was the one with Ricky Nelson. Mike Brady, The Brady Bunch, 6. Jason Seaver, Growing Pains, 6. I'm not going to read all the rest of these. Why are you letting me continue with this list? There's 400,000 on here. The good news is that, what's-his-name finally got one. Carl Winslow, Family Matters. He finally got one. It's not a good one, but he's got one. And no votes for Dr. Alex Stone from the Donna Reed Show. Pat Peterson was on that show, wasn't he, or was he on some other one?
I don't know.
Danny Williams from Make Room for Daddy, none. That's because they don't like the lesbianese. Rob Petrie from the Dick Van Dyke Show, thank God, has got none. And Bill Davis from Family Affair, none. Bill Davis was a great driver at Fraser Downs, by the way, out on the west coast of Canada. Billy D. 991. You need 9 votes in 7 minutes to get to that 1,000 by the noon hour. When the little hand hits the big hand, Chris, then we will respect you. If you can't get it before noon, no big deal. No great shakes. Do you realize I've only got an hour?
Must be nice.
I realize.
What? Must be nice what?
You got an hour and then you're gone for a week.
Going what? Going fishing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
He's got his bucket of worms and he's going fishing.
Yeah. The early bird gets the worm, baby. That's what I heard. The early bird gets the worm. And the worm is turning. Trust me when I tell you. Now, you're going to have to keep me in touch with what's going on.
What's going on with what?
I don't know. That was my point.
Uh-huh.
As in, nothing is going on. It's going to be the same. It's going to be good stuff, Really good stuff. And maybe a Fat Jolly Joe can give my phone number out to some other people there who can call me while I'm on vacation. He can give my hotel number out.
Why don't we get out over the air and just have people call you?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's give my hotel number out over the air. People can call and say, hey, how's it going over there, Neil? Having a good time? Enjoying that great food in Amsterdam and that Dan Square, stuff like that. What do you got here, Chris? Oh, 998. You're going to do it. You can do it.
Don Schuler, and I sound like Bob Hope on acid. And I want to tell you, it's the 12 to 1 hour or whatever it is.
Yeah! Ain't ready. What's up, y'all? This your boy D-Mike. You see, I usually do songs with, hooks and concepts and shit, right? But that, man, I'm trying to go platinum. So I'm about to rock this shit. Check this out, y'all. Read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. Sports page, not a magazine, but a book. deodorant, spray deodorant, spray deodorant, spray deodorant. Coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. Read a book, read a book, read 'em all. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em all. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em all. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em all. Book, READABO.
Okay, you got your 1,000, man. 1,011 votes on the poll. That's good. Now, I'm not going to read it again. It's just, it's not that it's a bad poll. It's just there's too many names on it.
Right.
When we did the one for Mother's Day, I mean, there were a lot of names on that, but not like this. I would have thought there were a lot more mothers on TV than daddies, you know? A lot of mothers on TV. But you got 1011 on there. That's good. Now, it's 12:03. That means 57 minutes and counting. Every minute, every second. Like that. Isn't that how you are when you're going to go on vacation? Now, you had a bit.
That's right.
I'm sure you anticipated last week when you were on vacation tremendously.
Sure.
And look how fast it went by.
It flew by.
It just flew on by, like that. Like a fart. Oh, I'm sorry.
A what?
Like a fart, Joyce. Like a big, fat, nasty, smelly fart sounds anymore. You got to admit, I got that down to a science, man. I'm right there with him.
Ain't no fun sound
Like before, but we can't find out who it was who put the kibosh to that. But when we do find out, we're going to pillory them. We're going to Hillary them, and then we're going to pillory them. When Ephraim Hammond returns home from a day work construction near Arizona's border with Utah, he's greeted by his wife, Cheryl Lynn, and then by his wife, Leah.
All right.
Polygamy, well, you haven't seen either one of them yet, so I won't get too excited.
All right.
Polygamy, once hidden in the shadows of Utah and Arizona, is breaking into the open as fundamentalist Mormons push to decriminalize it on religious grounds, while at the same time stamping out abuses such as forced marriages of underage brides, which, of course, is what it used to be. We've seen those shows on TV. We've seen that. Just another excuse to be banging, 12 and 13-year-old girls.
That's right.
The growing confidence of polygamists and their willingness to go public came at an awkward moment for mainstream Mormons who are now in the spotlight as Republican Mitt Romney, a prominent Mormon, seeks the U.S. presidency. Talk about a waffler, man. He is over here and then he's over there. Even Mo couldn't keep track of him. He's all over the place. The Salt Lake City, Utah-based Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or a Mormon church, I wonder if he wears that special underwear, that magic underwear. Is it special or is it magic?
Both.
Introduced polygamy before the Civil War, but banned it until 1890, when the federal government threatened to deny Utah statehood. Well, that would have been a good move. That would have been an excellent choice. Just cut it out with like a scissors and toss it in the Pacific. It would take a good heave, but, get some of them, some of the Olympic heavers to heave it. You ever see people in the Olympics heaving it?
Sure.
Today, about 40,000 fundamentalist Mormons in Utah and nearby states live polygamy illegally. Romney, whose great-grandfather had 5 wives and whose great-great-grandfather had a dozen, boy, he must have been a busy boy, has dismissed the practice as bizarre, a comment that infuriates him and whose father and grandfather practiced plural marriage. If it was for me, I wouldn't apologize for my past. My ancestors did what they did. I can't help that, Hammond said. He's 36, legally married Cheryl in 32 in 1994, and was joined with Leah, 21, a decade later, as his celestial bride in a religious ceremony that has no legal binding. It has no legal binding.
Right.
Leah bristles at the idea of women being forced into polygamy. The women in this society are educated, she be saying. Her husband likened the struggle for acceptance with the civil rights movement. It's like the work Martin Luther King did in relation with African Americans, he said, holding 1-year-old Ava, one of his 8 children, in the living room of his 3-story home in Centennial Park, a dry, dusty Arizona town run by polygamists near the Utah border. Centennial Park. Excommunicated by the church, they see themselves as true believers in Mormonism, as practiced by founder Joseph Smith from Palmyra, New York. Well, I'll tell you one thing. There's a place you don't want to visit. I've never been there, but I can only imagine. Palmyra. I mean, I know Elmira.
Yeah.
But Palmyra, that's where they had the magic tablets. And it's really unfortunate that they weren't like birth control pills. That would have been a big improvement. Historians say Smith took at least 24 wives, some of them before 1843, the year he announced a revelation from God, saying polygamy was a crucial key to entering the kingdom of heaven. It's called like the Tom Brady religion, impregnate every chick you can find. Although at least he's picking the good ones. I don't think the revelation that Joseph Smith received came from Christ, said John Llewellyn, a retired Salt Lake County policeman who once practiced polygamy but now campaigns against it. I think it came from his Y male chromosome. Dun, 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 dun. How do you like that? It came from his chromosome. Llewellyn, author of several books on polygamy, said the mainstream church could do more to stop it. Its Woodruff Manifesto, which banned polygamy, never revoked Smith's revelation on plural marriage, which remains in section 132 of the Doctrine and Covenants, a Mormon book of scriptures. Everybody's got their Bible, baby. The good book says this, the good book says that. It's just amazing to me. Good God. Read a book, that's they keep reading the wrong book. That's the problem.
Book.
Yeah. Oh, well, bleep that book. We believe in this continuing flow of revelation, and it's God's right to authorize and deauthorize. Oh, listen to these people speaking crap. To turn it on or turn it off, said Elder D. Todd Christophers. I guess that's their problem. They can't turn it off. Elder D. Todd Christopherson, a member of the Presidency of the 70, a leadership body of the mainstream Mormon Church. To revive polygamy, he added, the church's 96-year-old president, regarded as a living prophet, must receive a revelation from God sanctioning it. A revelation, like driving under an overpass and saying the Virgin Mary. Well, now, do they go for the Virgin Mary or not?
They're Christians. Of course they do.
Well, what does that mean?
Virgin birth.
You Catholics are the ones that are obsessed
Understand
with the Virgin Mary.
Something, my
the rest
Jewish
of the Goyim
friend.
were like, she was okay. She never stole a freight train. But
Virgin birth is integral to the divinity of Jesus freaking Christ, my Jewish friend.
Jesus freaking Christ?
You cannot be a Christian and not believe in the virgin birth. Of any stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Polygamist advocate Ann Wild said the church has the right to its beliefs, just as polygamists should be allowed their interpretation of Mormonism without persecution. As consenting adults, which is the key, we ought to have that choice to live that lifestyle, she said. We live it because of strong religious convictions, said Wild 71, meaning strong religious convictions to me, a.k.a. we're crazy. That's what that means to me. The attorneys general of Utah and Arizona said in separate interviews they had no intention of prosecuting polygamists unless they commit other crimes, such as taking underage brides, a practice authorities said was rampant in a Utah-Arizona border community run by Warren Jeffs before he was arrested in August. That's the one we've seen on TV. We're not going to go out there and persecute people for their beliefs, said Arizona Attorney General Terry Goddard. But what if they believe in, like, slicing up little children? Is that okay? What if that's it? Adds Utah Attorney General Mark Shurtleff, we determined 6 or 7 years ago there was no way we could prosecute 10,000 polygamists and put the kids into foster care. There's no way we have the money or the resources to do that. So that's the deal. I say, like, if everybody in town starts growing a big weed yard, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody. They can't put everybody in jail. They just can't afford it.
Yeah, watch them. You
first. We got well over 1,000 votes today. It's only just barely 10 after 12, which means we got 50 minutes left, damn it. See, there he goes again. That's right. And speaking of there he goes again, Scooter Libby. Boy, you talk about a jackass, man. What an idiot.
You fairy.
Scooter Libby wants what Martha Stewart got, according to the Associated Press. The former, I think what they had to do is stick him in jail and let her cook for him until he croaks. Don't you think that's a good idea?
Well, somebody that can't cook.
That's what I mean. The former White House aide, who faces 2.5 years in prison for perjury and obstruction, cited the domestic celebrity in court documents yesterday as part of his bid to put his sentence on hold. Maybe you'd like to get what Paris Hilton got the first time. Go home. The AP story continues. A federal judge agreed to put Stewart's 5-month prison sentence on hold while she appealed her 2004 conviction for lying about a stock deal, though Stewart opted to serve the time anyway. WorldCom CEO Bernard Ebbers got a similar deal after his conviction on an $11 billion accounting fraud, as did David Safavian, a former White House official convicted in the Jack Abramoff lobbying scandal. In other related news, Talk Left's Geraldine Merritt posted a mass fundraising letter on her blog sent by Mary Madeline for the Libby Legal Defense Trust, in which she pleads for contributions for Scooter Libby's appeal and argues Libby is innocent. Madeline, a top Republican strategist who formerly served as assistant to President George W. Bush and counselor to Dick Cheney, also played a key role in actions the Bush administration undertook against its critics after the invasion of Iraq. Madeline, according to notes Libby made of the conversation, called Joe Wilson a snake and warned that his story has legs. She laid out a plan. We need to address the Wilson motivation. We need to be able to get the cable out. Declassified. The president should wave his hand. wave his hand like some kind of a fruitcake.
You fairy.
Like Richie Simmons, he's waving it. You know what I'm talking about? He's waving both hands with a limp wrist. I wish we had a poll that I would, I'd feel proud today reading the result. Like the one yesterday, even though I was pissed off. I mean, foaming at the mouth that I came in third as the most overpaid. But it was pretty good. You didn't think so?
I thought it was just fine.
And this poll would have been fine, too, if we didn't have 600 names. We got 1,024 votes, though. I think one day we ought to do a poll that just... Because there's no... one thing about the Internet, there's no bottom. In other words, how do I say it?
I don't know.
The sky's the limit.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is we could put 50 zillion choices on there, and it's not like you run out of room.
Speaking
at
of
the
room,
bottom of the page, you know what I mean? Like the bottom of the world.
Food's here. Karma's here.
Ah, well, there's the good news.
Neil God.
Every good Christian knows a game to play, and it's not so very hard to do. The name of the game is the Bible says, if you interpret it the way we do, tell people you know the way. Invite them to your house, take their possessions away, and then you burn it down. You can get somebody to believe anything if you make the Bible say it's true. No matter what you do, you can be guilt-free, 'cause the Lord will always forgive you. Pick up a poisonous snake, wave it all around. Find abortion clinics and shoot a doctor down. Everybody, pray along with me, okay? Come on, you young Republicans. Beat the crap out of your kids. You're Deuteronomy bound. Go on a pilgrimage and pass the Kool-Aid around. Bite off a chicken's head to make a sacrifice. You've got
Code 19 at 560 WQM. Now, the food is there, you told me, from Karma.
Right.
And, of course, the QM store is open now. Neil's half-price deals.
Yep.
I just looked at it for the first time. It's it's there. There it is. Just click on
Like
WQM.com. I beg your pardon?
I said, how's it going?
So what do they bring you?
Beef, shrimp, chicken, the various accoutrements.
Yeah. Each week, every Thursday, we're going to feature a different business of the week. At noon every Thursday, we'll open up the online store for that week's business. But you got to be fast because we're only able to provide a limited number of gift certificates per week. I'm reading off of what Muff wrote on here. Karma, 2325 Galliano Street in the Gables, which brought the food today. Come to Karma for a sensual trip through the cuisines of Asia. This sexy Asian venue is replicated from China's Forbidden City with 30-foot Asian symbols and 1,000-pound Buddha that keeps a watchful eye over the guests. Fresh fish is thrown in daily from all over the world for the Sushi Bar. And you can watch Chef Michael Shukar prepare his cuisine in a dramatic exhibition kitchen using Northern Chinese-style wok cooking. So did they bring you the orange sesame chicken? I hate to ask because you're going to say yes, and I'm going to be eating on the plane.
There are a whole bunch of these dishes.
I will say this, though. The last time I ate on the plane going across the pond, the food was the best they ever had on there.
Really? Well, good.
Really good.
I don't know what these dishes are called since they're not labeled, but one of them might be the orange sesame chicken. There's a couple of different chicken dishes, beef dishes.
And what about the champagne kimchi New York strip?
I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm eating right now. I made myself
We've only
a sample.
got 91 left. I'm assuming you started with 100 on this thing? And there's only 91 left. Oh. Well, it's going to take a while for people to get in the swing of this, you understand? And, of course, Duff has done this so incredibly well. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I know. Neither does anybody else. No, that's all right. Just go to WQM.com and take a peek at it and read all about it and do whatever you want. Okay, how are we doing on that poll? We're going to get 1,100 before I get out of here? I doubt that. I sure doubt it, Chris. You got 1,035 about TV dads in honor of Daddy's Day on Sunday. Mark Morford, I love this column, man. This is good. This is the best. San Francisco Chronicle, he says, you are so effing obscene. The president says it, you say it, your kids say it all the time. So what's the effing problem? Amen. Mark Morford says, my grandmother's face used to scrunch up like he just stepped in dog droppings whenever she heard it. My own cherubic and super cute mother rarely used to say it, but has become much more friendly with it over the years because, you know, what the hell, and now whenever she launches an F-bomb or even an S-bomb, she almost can't help but smile a little sheepishly afterward, like her own mother is looking down from the heavens and making that face, or my mother's really angry, and the cuss is meant to be a serious exclamation. Well, it's almost impossible not to smile yourself, like you just heard this really adorable squirrel pass gas. Me, I remember the first time, somewhere around 7 or 8 years old, just chilling on my bike in my Spokane hood on a warm summer's eve, a gaggle of other boys scampering around. There might have been girls, too, but at that point, girls were still incredibly toxic, and hence my brain would not have registered their existence, and everybody just doing boy stuff. Suddenly, it happened. From out of nowhere, one kid launched a never-before-heard "screw you" at some other kid, and all chattering stopped, as we all sort of looked at each other as if to say, huh? And what was that? While this weird electrical charge shot through the air like creamy peanut butter on fire. Everyone felt it. Everyone present sort of knew, even then without the slightest clue as to what the words actually meant, that something interesting had just occurred, something powerful and strange, and, well, just a bit wonderful. As a quick test, I dashed home with those 2 words hot in my mouth and promptly unleashed them on the head of my older sister, to, if I recall, absolutely fantastic effect. Clearly, Bush's FCC is terrified of boys like me. Oh, yes, they are. Let us now recap. Since 2003, Bushko's own nipple-terrified regulatory agency has been working like a prudish little ferret to destroy perceived indecency, especially those fleeting expletives that love to pop up in major media, threatening to fine any network roughly $5 bazillion for any appearance of the dreaded F or S or anything else that causes unusual tingling sensations anywhere in the pallid body of FCC Chairman Kevin Martin. Dismissed as eye-rolling the idiotic by every cunning linguist in existence, this absurdly strict rule nevertheless caused enormous panic and trepidation among generally spineless network honchos who immediately shifted programming and yanked uncut versions of Saving Private Ryan from broadcast and fired on-air talent for the slightest indiscretion and desperately called their lawyers in prayer. It was, to put it simply, effing ugly. Fast forward to now. A New York appeals court just told Bush's hardliner FCC that they are, in essence, a bunch of simple-minded, out-of-touch dweeb monkeys, and that the TV networks, while morally vacant in nearly every way imaginable, still cannot be held to such impossible standards when such juicy curse words are a common element of everyday speech, including that of President Stop This Schmidt Bush and Dick Go F Yourself Cheney, and just about every other being anywhere with the possible exception of the ghost of my late grandma. We are sympathetic to the network's contention that the FCC's indecency test is undefined, indiscernible, inconsistent, and, consequently, unconstitutionally vague. Judge Joseph Mary Pooler wrote in a delicious smackdown, a decision that also called the FCC's obscenity rules divorced from reality, a perfect kicker that promptly induced Kevin Martin to whine uncontrollably. It is the New York court, not the commission, that's divorced from reality, he pulled. Booger burger wabba jerk-faced, he didn't spittle, his face turned bright red as he hopped on his big wheel and pedaled away furiously.
I'm sorry I missed that. Could you repeat those?
Yeah, booger burger wabba jerk-faced boom. Obscenity. Here's where you may want to jump in and play devil's advocate and argue that while swearing may be delightful amounts of everyday fun, mature discourse doesn't actually require such language, and sure enough, you can go through your entire life and never utter a single curse word, or for that matter, never let booze pass your lips, or enjoy a butt plug, or inhale from a joint, or be just like Frank Sinatra and never once wear a pair of jeans. And you can still make it to your grave a reasonably happy person, it's true. Butt plug. But maybe that's beside the point, because as far as Bush's God-spanked FCC is concerned, it is, always and forever, all about protecting the children. Or rather, it's all about protecting some imaginary Christian every child, some sort of perfect, hyper-sheltered, dove-like organism made of spun glass and delicate bunny hearts and little golden crucifixes, a fragile, blessed thing whose happy, unblemished life had been completely free of blood or spit or pain right up until he overheard Bono say F at the Golden Globes and his precious virgin heart shattered forever. No matter, it's all fast becoming rather moot anyway. Broadcast TV, as we know it, is dying a clumsy, confused death. Curse-happy cable TV is 87% of American homes, and satellite radio remains free to blaspheme up a storm. The Internet is a gigantic linguistic smut for all, and even the more serious blogs and the indie media outlets are happily loosening crusty journalistic binds and slanging their way into the hearts and minds of readers everywhere. See, most people seem to get it. As is always the case in things prurient and dirty and fun, it all comes down to balance. Too many gratuitous F-bombs and you sound juvenile, uneducated, and mean. too few or too awkwardly placed in an urn, you sound prudish and awkward and far too much like, say, Jerry Seinfeld. This, then, is the real linguistic lesson kids need to learn. When it comes to a good curse, it's all about the placement, the timing, the precise language. After all, F is a delightful power word, one I wish I could actually employ in this column every so often without those damnable dashes that protect nobody. The truth is, there always are perfect cuss-ready moments. There always are those times when it's not only entirely appropriate to launch a well-placed swear word, but not to do it would feel so downright irresponsible. Let me see if I can think of a good example, he says. Ah, yes, how about this? The FCC has finally got some comeuppance from the courts. The Christian rights death grip on the culture is weakening even further, and the nation as a whole appears to be slowly but surely coming to its senses. Well, thank goodness, praise Jesus, pass the wine, and oh yes, it's about effing time. See? Perfectly reasonable. Pretty good, huh? Mark
Damn
Walker
good.
in the San Francisco Chronicle. Damn good, eh?
What was that
Effing
line again?
good.
Bop, bop, baloo, bop.
Damn effing good.
Boogity boo.
Dang it. Boogity boop. I hope I read that the way he meant it.
I don't know. It was funny either way.
All right. If you're a DJ who's also Caucasian, don't even mention the blacks or the Asians. Athletic women with short curly hair. These are the things you can't say on the air. Homeless men talking about things quite disgusting. The FCC through your door will be busting. Bodily functions, don't even go there. These are the things you can't say on the air. When Al Sharpton comes to protest, trouble's on the way. Apologize for all the things that you said and update your resume.
I hear on TV, every other word is an obscenity. It used to be the cable was a whole lot worse, but now the networks let their actors curse. There's no end in sight to this insanity. All the dialogue contains profanity. Swearing like a sailor on a 3-day pass. Words a whole lot worse than ass. F-bomb, F-bomb, how long will it be before they drop the F-bomb on network TV? F-bomb, F-bomb, there's no telling when they'll drop one on the UPN.
Oh, I can't wait for that. And look at that. Brandon just popped up in the thing. They're probably going to start talking about food. Too late, sweetheart. Oh. Let's see. What does it say here? 6 hours, finally over with what? What does that mean? Well, I'm reading all the now. Are you eating now on the air? That's
now
bad.
on the air right now.
I don't have any idea what that means. Everybody's on vacation except me, but I will be in 26 minutes. Not that I'm counting, you understand. Not that I'm counting. I am counting. In fact, you know something? I'm going to go over to City Pulse 24, and I'm going to take a look here and see the digital clock. By the way, only 81 left now on the certificates. You see the fact that I talked about it and you raved about how good the food was?
Actually, there's only 80 left.
There's only 80. Why, you're checking it out? Why, did you buy one?
No, I just want to go look at it.
Oh. Well, there you go. You see, if we talked about it a lot more, we'd just sell those things like hotcakes. We could be like the radio shopping channel. Isn't that what they do on the TV shopping channel, where they show, well, we got 75 of these left, and they keep changing the number like that, you know? I don't think we want to be quite that crass or commercial, do we?
What?
Maybe we do. 12:35:25, which means 24 minutes and 35 seconds. Not that I'm counting, because that would be really crass and grotesque. It would make the loyal audience out there think that I'm counting down, you know. Aaron Glantz, Interpress Service, writes, surviving war, slowly dying at home. Well, this is a sad story. Let me save that one, okay? Well, it's sad. You think I want to do sad stories just before going on vacation?
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. It's a horrible story, and I'm going to do this. China finds a new species of big bird-like dinosaur. Isn't that great? Those Chinese, and I guarantee you they're eating it. What is it with them, anyway? Well, what is that all about? I guess when you got a billion people... Well, they got a billion people in India, too, now.
Yeah.
But they don't eat all those funky things that the Chinese eat.
That's tradition.
In fact, don't they not eat moo cow in China, in India?
They do not.
They do not eat moo cow. Well, what's in that curry stuff? Well, what's the meat in curry?
What meat?
What do they put curry on?
Ask an Indian.
Are you telling me the Indians are vegetarians? I think you're full of it, man.
For the most part, actually, yeah.
They are?
Uh-huh. That's what I heard. There was a news story on it, like the McDonald's serves veggie burgers and whatnot.
Oh, that's right. That is absolutely correct. I remember seeing that. And did they get, like, smear curry on it?
I don't know, I guess.
I heard they smeared kid curry on it. Now, whatever happened to him? Did he, like, wind up going to another planet or something? Or?
I haven't heard about him in a long time.
I heard he's going to land at another station, like the Amoco up there in the corner. Poor kid Curry. And who was it that got Candid Power a week or two ago? Boy, there's some real heavy-duty stuff going on there. Wasn't it last week?
I don't know.
You were the one that told me about it.
I was?
Or maybe you didn't tell me. Maybe it was Josh Cordes. Maybe Josh just made it up.
Maybe.
There you go, Brandon. There's your opening. Give Josh a shot. Oh, I don't know what it was about Josh this time last week when you were on vacation, but, man, he was taking crap from everybody.
Well,
I mean, they were all over him like stink on Joyce.
It's good that he took a turn finally.
Yeah, that's right. Get a little of the heat off of George already and start focusing that spotlight on Josh. China has uncovered the skeletal remains of a gigantic, surprisingly bird-like dinosaur which has been classed as a new species. 8 meters long, that's 26 feet, and standing at twice the height of a man at the shoulder, the fossil of the feathered but flightless Gigantoraptor Arianesis was found in the Urlan Basin in Inner Mongolia. Well, I think I did a pretty good job, and you never heard of it, so, you know.
Never.
Well, of course not, because there was no such thing before. Researchers wrote in the latest issue of Nature, which I'm sure you read religiously. It's probably your Bible. The researchers said the dinosaur discovered in April 2005 weighed about 1.4 tons and lived some 85 million years ago. That's bigger than the humper, for Christ's sake. They might show up on ESPN.
That was funny.
What was especially surprising was its sheer size and weight, because most theories point to carnivorous dinosaurs getting smaller as they got more bird-like, as they got more like the bird. It had no teeth and had a beak. Its forelimbs were very long, and we believe it had feathers. Xu Xing at the Chinese Academy of Sciences Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology said in a telephone interview. Well, I'm doing good with the words today. I ought to just keep going, you know what? I ought to stay until midnight. Not 21 minutes.
What?
20 minutes and a couple of seconds. I'm not counting. Well, of course, that doesn't count the last break, and then the back time to the top of the hour. So actually, it's like less than 20 minutes.
So you want to know what we're munching on here?
What is that?
We have orange sesame chicken.
Yeah.
Mongolian beef. And George had some sweet and sour shrimp.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Very
good.
Excellent.
And now it's gone.
I'm getting good karma just hearing you talk about it. With the beak and feathers, the Oviraptor is also bird-like and flightless, but weighed a mere 1 to 2 kilograms. What the hell is that? Other similar feathered dinosaurs rarely weighed over 40 kilograms, which means the Gigantoraptor was about 35 times heavier. It was a big-ass bird. The scientists had originally thought they had found tyrannosaur bones. They were so big, it was a surprising discovery, not at all what we expected. They'd be saying we spent a lot of time investigating the fossils, which is why it took us so long to announce the results. Now, these, of course, are big birds that lived, 50 years ago, something like that, because there's sure no such thing as evolution.
No, it's a plot.
Just a commie pinko secular humanist plot to divert your attention from the Lord and from the works of the good book. You know, the good book that says, stone all your disobedient children to death.
Means
and
kill everybody, kill them all, kill them
all,
twice,
baby.
kill the babies, rape the women.
The Vietnam say oi mein. Why do they say that? I don't know. The Chinese say chow mein. 1,072 votes. You know, you're going to get dangerously, perilously close to 1,100, but not going to make it this. What difference does it make? You're going to go over 11 today. In fact, I'm going to leave it in your capable hands, the two of you, to get to 1,200 by 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Can you handle that?
Maybe.
I just noticed something on the palm of my left hand.
Cancer?
I beg your pardon?
What?
A small blood blister.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bite it.
How can you bite it when it's on the palm of your hand? How can you bite your palm?
That's the joke. Because you can't.
Want to bet?
Give it a shot.
Anyway, here's a fax, and this is muy interessante, marginally, from Vicente. Thank you, Vicente. Grazie mille. Dankjewel. Jealousy windows. We argued about this yesterday, and it turned out we were all full of crap. Well, you were right, I was wrong, but then again, I was still right. Jealousy windows came from Granada, Spain, from the Arab castle where the wives could check out the dudes in the court. The plaza. Maybe I need to get some jealousy windows. Celosa is the Spanish word. The J is from the Arabs. Aha, probably stands for Jew. Jealousy windows. That's what they are.
There you go.
Jew loosely. Huh? And Vicente says, have a good time in Amsterdam, both in the air and at a cafe. I see. Check out Samasabo, a restaurant that is great. A Rastafal, that's the Indonesian rice table, which I can't eat rice because I'm diabetic. I mean, I can, but if I'm going to cheat, I'll probably go to Yaman and have some Ben and Jerry's.
Well, I didn't have any either, just out of sympathy.
Can't have what?
Right.
Oh.
They had, they brought some rice here.
See, one good thing about that Yaman store is the Ben and Jerry's counter, the scoop thing is right in the front, so you're not tempted. Well, you're tempted, but you don't go in the back of the store where they have all the candy, every kind of candy that's ever been invented. Don't get started with the food now, not when I'm about to take off on a good trip. Please. Oh, that's right, you were on, what was that?
What was what?
Was that last week or was that this week? No, that was this week that I had the macaroni and cheese thing.
Thanks to Brandon.
Jesus.
Trying to kill you.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. That's all right. He means well.
I don't think so.
He's a skinny guy that's into food, which we all hate that.
He's one of those people we were talking about who thinks it's funny, doesn't realize the gravity of.
Are you now you're gonna be at war with him too, just like Josh?
Oh,
he's one of my close personal correspondents there. Okay,
right.
The professor and Brandon and
I like him just fine, if not.
And
for
Ricky,
that.
by the way, who got back from Costa Rica but never gave me any stories and replied and told me whether he got laid or not. We're praying for you, Ricky. We're pulling for you. And now here's some exciting news from Keith in Boca. This deserves a drum roll. There is now a Sonic in South Florida.
Although, Keith, you could have just told us where it was. We have to type in that whole freaking link to find out. Come on, Keith. Jesus,
I'm not going to type in this long link here for crying out loud.
Like a mile long.
It just opened up last weekend and it's packed.
Although if he's in Boca,
Keith,
that would imply.
Well, wouldn't it be nice if Keith would fax us back and tell us where the Sonic is? He's got this long link. You got to go to sunsentinel.com/this with 85,000 numbers. He says, I had to circle around it 3 times before I get a spot. And by the way, Mr. C gets my vote. Who's Mr. C?
Cunningham, I imagine.
Oh.
On the poll there.
On Unhappy Days?
Fonzie called him Mr. C.
Yeah, I seen the show, okay? I even saw American Graffiti.
Well, you axed. So did I.
Keith in Boca says all of that. So if there's now a Sonic in South Florida, why don't you just, instead of worrying about the link on there, just to Google Sonic in South Florida?
It's easier to cut and paste that link than just type it out.
You could do that if you wanted to. But it's much easier just to go, if there's a Sonic in South Florida, man, we're going to pack that place. You won't be able to get within 100 miles of it by the time we get done. I know some people are going to be leaving work right now and heading off for Sonic. Even if it's in Boca, if it's in freaking Jacksonville, wherever the hell they're, well, that's a little far. Am I right?
Yep.
It must be pretty damn good. Now, did you tell me you actually ate there once upon a time in America?
A couple, but not in this town. Like, they have them up in the south, when you drive north to go south. And I went to a couple of them, and it was fine both times. Hot fries, good crispy hot fries, which I know that you don't care about.
What do you mean you go north to go south? What does that mean?
The south is north of us. The deep south.
That's what you think. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, anyway, and the burgers were great. I had a bacon cheeseburger on like a sourdough toasted, whatever it is.
Sourdough?
Yeah, it's sourdough. And it was great. It was just fine. Good stuff.
Now, I'm waiting for that fax to come, pouring across, or maybe for Chris to tell us that he's Googling Sonic in South Florida and tell us the location. We went through this before once upon a time.
Well, from their website, we're still only getting ones on the West Coast.
You think Keith is funning us?
No.
Well, why would he do that? And why wouldn't he tell us where it is?
Because he's lazy.
Or maybe because he's selfish, he doesn't want to tell us where it is because he had to circle around the
block.
He's lazy.
He's not thinking it through that we're going to have to type in that URL to find out where it is. He just wanted to cut and paste.
I'm not typing it in. You type it.
I'm not typing it in, no.
Maybe it's something to do. You do it, Chris.
I'm going to Boca for a Sonic.
On the East Coast, it's in Melbourne,
Well, nobody's driving all the way up there.
It's probably not on there yet. If it's new.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Maybe it's not on there. Maybe they just opened it. Maybe they just hammered the last nail in the thing, and they just opened the door. You think?
I imagine.
Well, how are we going to do this? I guess I'm
not
going
to wait for Keith to call us back or fax us back or something.
Yeah, call his ass up and say, hey, listen, Keith, thanks a lot, you bastard. Well, come on, let us know let us in on it. That's like saying I got $50 million I found in the backyard and I'm going to give away a bunch of money, you know. But where do you live, Keith? Well, I'm not telling you. Where are you, Keith? You can't find me, you know, like that. That would be really bad. Well, this is really bad now, too. I guess I'm supposed to feel real guilty now. You see, here's the way this deal works, you know, with this summer deal of mine. And as you know, just like I said about vacations, it's the same thing.
Boynton Beach.
In Boynton Beach?
At 320 Winchester Park Boulevard.
How did you find that? From that link?
No, I went to Sun Sentinel.
Dun, 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 dun. Boynton Beach at what address?
320 Winchester Park Boulevard.
Winchester Cathedral. That's great. So there's a Sonic in Boynton Beach now.
Do we consider that South Florida?
The fact that there's one in Boynton Beach means there's probably going to be in Dade and Broward pretty soon, too.
Let's hope.
We pray.
I don't consider.
So, like I said, after the week after Labor Day, when this whole deal ends, then it's like 9 more months till I have it again. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So you relish it, you savor it, you know, and then all of a sudden, before you know, you're like that. It's all done. Like life.
Getting bigger and bigger because of you. Wonderful WQAM, the station with a happy DJ. Friday night and we're in bed. I'm in the mood, but you just snore. Even though you're gonna get half, I'll be glad when I walk out that door.
Yes.
You don't cook so good. You don't look so good.
No.
That's why I'll feel good when I am leaving. Bye-bye, baby. Sorry, you just ain't the one. And it's trading time.
Yes.
Bye-bye, baby. I'm like a prisoner who's just been sprung, so bye-bye. I'm headed for a better wife. I heard that. Bye-bye, baby. You and I aren't having any fun. And it's trading time. You bitch. Bye-bye, baby. You are no longer number one, so bye-bye. I'm headed for a better wife. Oh, better wife.
1 o'clock, 560 QM. Did he do that right? I thought he was supposed to leave at 1, not before 1. Whatever. Like we're going to.
He always forgets, and you know.
No, he doesn't forget. He does it quite by design. But that's all right. Have a nice time, Neil, wherever the hell you're going. Europea somewhere. And here we are for a whole freaking week and a day, and then the summer schedule and whatnot. And what a weekend, boy, for me. Because not only Father's Day on Sunday, which is whatever it is. You know, I got a whole bunch of Father's Day bits. I guess I should pull them out and get rid of them today and tomorrow for what it's worth. Now, when the kids are young, you got to go shopping for them for the present, for the Mother's Day and stuff like that. Fortunately, you know, I have an adult daughter now with a job who makes me proud, so she'll be actually buying me a Father's Day present.
Well, that's good.
With her own money that she made, which will make me feel good. And it doesn't matter what she gets, just that she's going to go out and get something will make me feel very special. On the other hand, if someone else in my house should go out and spend my money on something for me, I really wish they wouldn't anymore. Birthdays, Christmases, and things like that. You see, it's kind of sad because it goes like this. It's my money buying it anyway, so nobody's buying something for me. It's somebody taking some of my money and going out and buying something that I don't want and giving it to me when I would rather have just kept the money in the bank to pay some bills because I got a lot of them thanks to someone. You follow?
Definitely.
And it goes like this. If I had wanted that, whatever it was that I just got that was gift wrapped, I would have gotten it. The only things that I want that I can get with my money, I can't afford. In other words, I would love to have a big old HD TV, but I can't afford it. You understand? Does this make sense? The bottom line to all of this is stop spending my money on crap that I don't want. You want to get me a present, honey? And you know, it's our anniversary coming up on the 16th. Thank you, Duff. Duff got me off the hook. I get to treat my wife to a fancy dinner. And I don't have to pay for it, which is great.
Should I ask you where? No.
That's double painful when you have to take your wife out to dinner, to a fancy dinner, and you have to pay for it. I really feel sorry for all you other schleppers out there that don't have this really sweet radio hookup. It's always a dilemma around anniversaries, birthdays, Christmases, you know, what to do, what to spend, what to get, and then the cards thing. Have I ever talked about this on the air before?
I don't
The
know.
greeting cards. I was watching Brian Regan. We were all sitting watching the. Is it Brian Regan, the guy, the comedian? Because it was him and his brother. I think they had a comedy career, both of them, and then one of them stopped. So I think Brian Regan is the guy that we were watching, and he had a good line. He was talking about blank cards. I buy blank cards all the time, and he was laughing at me. I have to buy blank cards all the time. He said, and it was a good line. I wonder what the name of the guy is or was who thought up that idea, the idea of selling blank inside cards. His name must have been Wake Up Laughing. Because here's a pretty picture, a picture of a flower, a picture of a cat, and it's blank inside. You got to write something yourself. You got to think of it yourself, which suits me fine because they don't make cards that are appropriate for me. For Mother's Day, my mother's birthday, wife's birthday, Christmas, my anniversary. They don't have cards that say, here's more than you deserve. They don't have cards that say, I'm nicer than you, so here's a card. Or, like, say, on the anniversary, they don't have cards that say, yep, here I am. Here we are again. Another year already? Jeez, it only felt like 5. Happy anniversary, honey! It's going to be nice and romantic on Saturday, I'm sure.
Do you do nice and cursive writing and everything, or
I have a variety of options of writing styles. You see this writing style, which it has degenerated. It used to be printing because here's the thing about my cursive. It used to look nice, then it degenerated, and then I couldn't read it anymore. It degenerated to the point where I couldn't read it anymore. I tried to write in cursive again the other day for some reason. Excuse me, that was good food from Karma.
Oh, it's great food.
The guy called up and said, hey, anytime that you guys want, he'll hook us up, and we're going to take him up on that. Maybe get some tuna sashimi this time. But it was great. Everything was great. I made myself a little sampler over there, but no rice because I'm going to health kick. Get into that later. But where the hell was I? Oh, the cursive and everything.
Yes.
So I changed to print because I took drafting and stuff, so I knew how to print properly. So I started printing so that I could read my own stuff. And then now my printing has degenerated to where it looks like illegible cursive. But yeah, when I'm writing on the inside of a card, I will try to keep it together, keep it under control.
I can't do cursive at all anymore.
No, I didn't know that I couldn't either until I tried to, and then it was just all over the place. I had no hand control. My fingers wouldn't make those shapes anymore for some reason.
Well, I know.
It just looked like a whole bunch of zigzags.
Yeah.
And it used to be nice handwriting, So if I should be writing any fancy love poems, a la Cyrano de Bergerac or something like that, I'll probably just find a pretty font on the computer, and use the printer over here, if I should ever. So we are going to be taking calls this hour, so sharpen up your fingers like I told you to earlier. I don't know if I want to get into the whole ripping David Chase right away. If for no other reason, I want to save it for tomorrow and maybe spend all day on it. And the whole concept of it, him and Quentin and all these people, and the Suits, you know what? You are what you are. Everybody knows what you're all about. Every time a boring-ass movie comes out, there's no shortage of Suits making apologies for this excuse for crap. There are wall-to-wall Suits in this country. You go to an art museum, and you'll see non-art, and some Suit wrote something on there pretending that it's great. We watch that Sunday morning show, or I should say the wife watches that Sunday morning show, where they put the stories on that are too uninteresting to show anywhere else, and they always got to have one of two things: either some modern quote-unquote artist, somebody that makes ugly crap that somebody thinks is interesting, or a jazz quote-unquote musician, somebody making horrible, horrendous music that nobody wants to listen to, but that's what they're going to feature on that Sunday morning show. So I think I'm going to start a line of greeting cards. I've said this before. A new line of greeting cards that are actually, honest, that express your feelings honestly about certain people in your life. Hey, happy anniversary, honey. I don't want to say how many years it is because then it would...
Make you cry?
Well, that too. No, I cry daily. I wake up crying. The guy that invented blank inside greeting cards, his name is Wake Up Laughing. My name is Wake Up Crying. I wake up from whatever nice dream that I'm having. That was calling me. Who the hell would be calling me in the middle of the show? Obviously, not somebody that knows me. 106 on 560 WQAM. Hello, QAM.
Hey, how are you, George?
Fine, how are you?
I'm fine. I'll delay my opinion on Sopranos for tomorrow as well. However, you were talking about Sonic.
Phonics or Sonic?
Sonic Drive-In. Yes.
Right, they got that sourdough toast or something instead of a bun option.
Oh, they're beautiful, man. And their breakfast burritos are to die for.
That sounds good.
Beverages are awesome, but I'm going to tell you what the story is. back late in the 80s, early 90s, there were Sonics down here. The exclusive,
Right, I remember. And you know what? I didn't go when they were because I thought, whatever, how good can they be?
The exclusive franchise was purchased by 3 former county management types. They retired from the county, and that was what they went into business to do.
Okay.
Well, not knowing how to run a business for profit, even to today, the franchise petered out after 3 years, and that's why they're all belly up. There was one up on Dixie Highway close to FIU. There was one off 103rd Street, on 103rd Street. The buildings are all still there, but they haven't been Sonics for at least 15 years.
Okay.
And I think the closest one is Melbourne. I'm not sure about that Boynton Beach one. I think that might be one.
I just got a confirmation on the Boynton Beach one. Is that even in Broward? Is Boynton in Broward? I forget
where
the...
No, that's South Palm Beach.
Okay. With all due respect to the Palm Beach County people, the 3 of them that might be listening, we, the South Floridians, do not consider that part of South Florida.
That's correct.
So
I think they're building the canal right between Broward and Palm Beach as we speak.
Okay. Well, they need to build it between Dade and Broward. A nice moat filled with piranhas, thank you.
Amen.
All right.
Take it easy, sir.
Take it twice. And, because Neil was reading that thing, or it's been on all day, the whole thing about the immigration thing. It makes me nuts. It makes me nuts like Lou Dobbs. All right? It makes me as nutty as Lou Dobbs about this whole thing because there is no immigration issue being discussed. Only the most virulent bigot has a problem with immigration, considering that all of us are. That's not what people are having a problem with. People are having a problem with, and ready? Because I'm going to try to, I don't know if I can get my point across. People are having a problem with slimy, skeevy, filthy, disgusting, border-jumping, illegal aliens.
So what are you trying to say?
And the American people, who are returning record-breaking negative polls for both the President and Congress, do not want any kind of accommodation. Who is it that is pushing for any kind of accommodation for illegal aliens, besides, obviously, big business and maybe a few liberal groups that just are bleeding hearts to the point of detriment, being detrimental to the working people of the United States of freaking America that are in the country legally, whether or not they are citizens, or born here, or naturalized, or here with a properly approved visa. Some of us, and a lot of other people, are waiting in line very patiently to get permission to come into the country legally, politely, with dignity, with respect for the laws and the citizens of this country. And other people don't give a rat's ass and are coming over and taking what they want anyway. That's the issue. El Presidente, Mr. President, and all your buddies in big business. That's the issue, Congress, people on both sides of the aisle. Illegal aliens. They're ill. No accommodation, no compromise, no negotiating. Them and the people who hire them in a pile, pour gas on them, set them on fire. Them, their children, everybody. That's how we feel. The only people that are apologizing for the illegal aliens are the friends and families of these illegal aliens, who are probably illegal freaking aliens themselves, or the children of illegal aliens. No one who works for a living in this country wants to accommodate an illegal freaking alien in any way, shape, or form, or the scum box who hires them and pays them under the table, where they don't pay taxes, where they take that money and they send it back to Mexico so it doesn't even get spent here to stimulate the economy. You bunghole President and Congress and all you people, no accommodation. Off. Off. Well, we can't round up all these people and ship them off. Why the F not? Why the F not? Bring the military back from Iraq and get them doing that. Let me see your Social Security card, or a green card, or something. You don't need this national ID thing. Everybody who's in the country legally has something. Let me see your freaking driver's license. Or off you go. Real simple. That's what the American people want. That's what the people who work want. That's what the people who pay taxes, which means your salary, all you people that I'm talking about, that's what they want. And sorry if I sounded a little bit ranty over there. You know what? As pissed off and passionate as I am about that, just wait till I get going about, what's his name? David Chase. It's 112 on 560, all illegal alien radio, WQ. One moment, please. A. Let me know when you're ready. M.
So very whiny.
Yes, I am.
Shopping Club.
And welcome back to the Radio Shopping Club. I'm your host, David. You know, Father's Day is coming up, and it's time to think about dear old Dad. Now, we know you think your dad's the greatest. Of course you do. But what about dads that aren't so great? You know, dads that promise to show up for the holidays but don't. Dads who spend their money on exotic dancers rather than on child support. You know, your classic deadbeat dads. Well, the Radio Shopping Club has the perfect gift. Introducing the RSC Deadbeat Dads Collection. Yes, here they are. Coffee mugs, hats, T-shirts, even golf balls, all emblazoned with the slogan, World's Greatest Deadbeat Dad. It's the perfect way to show your deadbeat dad and the world what you really think. We can even ship it to him directly. That is, if you know the address of the tramp he's shacking up with. Order now, and be sure to ask your operator about our 3 months of back child support delayed payment option. Call now.
RSC, the Radio Shopping Club.
117 560 QAM. And there's another thing. I totally forgot about that on Father's Day. I have a father. We were talking about him earlier. And that bit, see, they stole my idea. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Just like I also had the idea a long time ago for Miss Fortune cookies. You know, you get fortune cookies at the Chinese restaurant, and it's always something, whatever, sappy.
Yes.
Like I got one the other day. It says, a cheerful message is on its way to you. I'm still waiting.
You know the key to make fortune cookies even more fun, right?
No, what's that? Sharp objects?
No, you've never heard it?
No.
You read the fortune, and you end it with, in bed. So say that one you just said again.
A cheerful message that's on its way to you in bed.
See, it makes it sound a lot better. And it pretty much works on almost every fortune there is.
What would that sound like? Don't, listen, I don't want to hear that sound from you. All right? Somebody else maybe, but not from you. So yeah, deadbeat dad. I'll go find a, since they don't make deadbeat dad Father's Day cards, and they should. You know what? Who knows? Maybe they do. Everything exists anymore, right? Thanks to the internet. You could Google Father's Day cards for deadbeat dads, and something that might actually come up.
You could always get one of those create your own cards.
Right.
You know.
Right. There you go. There you go. Or e-cards, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, but it's still not as nice as that nice folded cardboard, you know? So I got to get a blank inside card for my dad and say, hey, thanks for nothing, Poppy. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for sending your other son to college, but not any of the kids that you had with with your first wife. And thanks for having so many kids with that woman that you knew was a crazy bitch every time you knocked her up. My sister and I just got done having a conversation with him, and she's all born again and forgiving and into forgiveness and everything, which I don't believe in, as you know. And she's trying to make excuses for him. Oh, he's not a bad man. He's just he's just weak and stupid. And it's like, well, that's bad. That's a bad man. When you make kids and you don't take care of them, that's bad. That's the definition of bad as a man. Make a kid, don't feed it, you're bad. That's it. Well, that is your function as a father, is to take care of your freaking children. And you didn't do it, Poppy.
Well, you were the practice family.
Apparently, and he got it together. Glad to see that he actually developed some skills from starving his first batch of kids. QAM, hello. Boom. That's it. I know. You know what? They had the opportunity here for the hour. Neil hasn't been taking calls since for like 2 weeks or so, right? At least. He took a few calls the other day. I don't even remember when that was. Was he taking a whole lot during the vacation, my vacation?
No. I took the calls the other day about the morning show.
Yeah, and not since. So here's an opportunity once again that will just go right past these people in South Florida. QAM, hello.
Hey, Lerner.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, I was about to answer.
All we got, the same four retards. They won't go anywhere, and I know you won't go anywhere. They know they won't go anywhere.
And they're mad. That one's mad because I recognize his.
Oh yeah. Welcome.
You know, it was. He tried to actually sound real.
You'll go. I mean, it's the price of fame, first of all. But all these people that didn't know from me, like Reverend Jones and his buddy Chaz, or whichever the two you are, you're both gay. I can't describe the things that you do on a daily basis on the air without losing the license. You're stalkers. But they used to call him Murad Neal, and then I discovered what their voice sounded like, so I would hang up on them, and so then they started picking on me and calling me gay. Same thing with Gilbert. Same thing with all these other people. You know, you do your job, Chris. You hang up on the people that you're supposed to, and they're gonna hate you for having the nerve to keep people off the air who are, homosexual, deadbeat. Well, I'm sorry, they're not deadbeats. I don't know.
No, I'm sure Daron is a deadbeat.
No, I don't know. He might pay his bills for all I know. I do know that he's a homosexual and retarded. That's Daron. What is it? What is his name? Grabowski. QAM, hello.
Ed?
Yeah, QAM, hello. That's you. I was just talking about you. Hello. Oh. Snap. That was the wrong line. See, that's what happens when you just keep hitting next all over and over and over again. QAM, hello.
George,
Yeah.
I wanted to report. I knew you wasn't taking calls, but they finally discovered us out here in the Redlands, and we got 2 Arbitron diaries for the week.
Sweet.
I thought I would let you
Maybe
know.
I'll make some money this month.
Yeah, maybe you can.
Of course, I cannot tell you how to fill that diary out.
Oh, no, of course not.
Right.
It's already pre-planned.
All right.
All I have to do is Xerox it.
Beautiful.
All right, man.
All right. Well, there's some good news. Maybe I'll be able to pay some bills this month. Yeah. You're not getting on the air, you fargs. Did I just make up a new word? You're not going to get on the air. You're gay. You're retarded. You're special. You're fat. You're ugly. And you're not going to get on the air anymore. Just call each other up and pretend that you're on the air. Jim Mandich is coming up at 2 o'clock. We got the Power Hour with Hank and the Mad Dog from 4 till 5. Hank at 5. At 7 o'clock, we have Dolphins All Access. That's Miami Dolphins All Access, hosted by somebody, right? Do we know who?
Probably Cephalo.
Probably Cephalo. Maybe Bob Eisenberg will call on the air again and ask how Jimmy's going to be coming into the building. That was very funny, Bob. And he still doesn't realize that wasn't the thing to do. But then again, you know what? Since they don't have, and the audience, I've mentioned this before, but they still might not know, we don't actually have a real phone in the control room of the studio over here. Since this is not a real radio station, they don't have a real phone. There is no way for you to call outside and not be on the talk line in the control room of a radio station, which is outlandish and outrageous. Continuing with the schedule, we have Marlins on deck at 7:35. Marlins at KC 8:10. Game night with Ed Kaplan, whenever the hell that ends. QAM, hello. Hello.
Yeah, you want to know about those pens?
The what?
Those pens you were talking about earlier.
No, I don't. I know all about you. I know everything about you. I know your address. I know your phone number. I know how gay you are. I know how obsessed you are. I know that you're a stalker.
What did you just say today's schedule was? Marlins where?
At KC.
Thursday?
Oh, I'm on Friday.
Okay,
Whoa.
I was wondering.
Let me fix that. Let me turn the page and fix that, just like that. Marlins at Cleveland. Well, not at Cleveland, right? Aren't they here? So that sounds like a do-over. So as I was saying, we have the Power Hour. I just got that right. Then it's Hank Goldberg at Dolphin Stadium at 5 o'clock. Marlins on deck 6:30. At 7:05, it's Marlins in Cleveland. And then game night with Ed Kaplan. Does that sound better? Thank you for catching me, Because what do I know or care about the Marlins' actual schedule? Karma was great. Are they? Yes. We don't have any propaganda, any information about them. Where are they? I used to have a card or something like that right there. I'm going to give you a minute. Why don't I have it? Why doesn't Neil have it?
Well, I went online and found it.
Well, share. Any minute now.
They are at...
Boy, that's a slow computer.
2325 Galliano... No, I had to hit a couple
I see.
things. 2325 Galliano Street, which is in Coral Gables. And if you would like their phone number, it is 305-445-2293.
Great.
And we've already sold 30 certificates.
Stupendous. That's a good deal, actually. Normally we would criticize the kinds of things that the station does in the name of promotions, because it's usually pretty chintzy and cheesy, but this is actually a worthwhile thing. I think that it needed to be that way, or Neil wouldn't have agreed to go along with it. That's the only reason that he agreed to go along with it. That, and it's a Duff thing. We like Duff. And I like Duff now, since he hooked me up for that dinner thing at the River House, and I'll tell you all about it. I'll be telling you all about it. Very excited. It's right there on the water. Duff left me the menu, but he didn't leave me an address or anything like that, so I could read from the menu, but I'll wait till I get some more information. Duff, like where are they and all their particulars and things like that. I did look them up on the internet to find out exactly where they were so that I could go there, and they've got great reviews. Every little like travel guide and city guide and everything gave them 4.5 out of 5 stars, which is pretty stupendous. I'm really, really excited to go there. Even though I'll be there with my wife. 126 on All Anniversary Radio, 560 WQAM. There we go.
Just a Jersey guy. Did he live or did he die? After that final scene, no one really It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers walking in and out the restaurant and meadow. Can't park her car right. Were they hitmen? Only one guy knows for sure, and his lips are still real tight. Don't stop guessing with your head the messing. Hey, forget about it.
Here we go again. Just when I was going to stop talking about the quote-unquote immigration issue here, there's an immigration breakthrough here. And here's a President Evil Idiot talking about some other scam that's going to take jobs away from American citizens or legal immigrants who pay taxes and spend money in America to give it to illegal alien filth. But they're hard-working people. So? But they're people. No, they're not. They're scum. They're filth. But you don't have to say it like that. No, I don't have to, but I want to. They're filth. They're filthy, filthy scum. Icky, icky, filthy scums. Yeah. And the people who hire them. The people on the other end of the spectrum. The rich F that doesn't want to pay a legal immigrant or an American what they're worth to do the job that they want done. They had this story. See, I'm going nuts again, and I played a Sopranos bit so I could talk about that. There was some story, and they were interviewing some, farm owner, some farmland guy, some farmer. Oh, we offered locals around this area $12 an hour to do this, and they wouldn't take it. So I guess, we just have to hire the illegal aliens. No, that's not how it works. That's not the supply and demand of labor. That's not how it works in a free enterprise system. They won't do it for 12, offer 13. They won't do it for 13, offer 14. They won't do it for... Keep going until you find the price that they'll do the job for. Oh, but then the food will be expensive. Well, then that's what it freaking costs. That's the price. And all those people making all that money, picking all that lettuce, will be able to afford all that expensive food. And the money will be spent in America, and all those people will be paying taxes, and we'll be able to share the tax burden amongst ourselves instead of just lumping it all onto the American people who work, but not making people who aren't here legally, they get off scot-free. They don't have to pay taxes. Oh, but we pay sales tax and this and that. Die, filthy scum, die! Get back across the border or die! How's that? And here's the president talking this and that. And it makes me sick. Like David Chase makes me sick. And here's another example of everybody's all the apologists, all the suits are saying, oh, what? You want to know how it ended? You want to know what happens? Do you want to know if Tony lives or dies? Okay, well, that would be nice, but what's more important is just end it, see? When you pay for a product, and we pay for HBO up front, and you go to a movie, you buy the ticket, you pay up front, you don't get your money back if the movie sucked. See, we're paid to do a 4-hour radio show, and if we were to leave at 1 o'clock, like Neil does, people would feel ripped off by that, like I'm sure a lot of people do. But see, you're not paying for the radio show. The people out there listening aren't paying for the radio show. It's free for you. You have the option of listening to it or not, and it's not costing you any money. But I already paid up front for HBO. And specifically so that we could get that Sunday night programming, Rome. And The Sopranos. Now, Rome, 2 seasons, sadly, only 2 seasons. Very sadly, because it was immaculate. It was flawless. It was perfect. Take a lesson, David Chase. Take a freaking lesson. And he knows, because you know what? One of the things that I loved about The Sopranos for the first 2 seasons, and I don't know at what point it fell apart. Season 3, sometime did we have 3 good seasons of that show before it fell all apart? And yes, earlier in the season there were some good episodes, but it was too little too late. It was like individual good episodes aren't like what we were getting, where every episode was good and they all tied in together. But I digress. One of the things that I really loved about The Sopranos in the beginning was each episode ended really, really well. The music would fade in slowly towards the end while something was happening, and they would leave you with some sort of a heavy event that would set up the next episode. Something, they all ended marvelously, David. So you know how to do it. I know you know how to do it. You can't feign ignorance. I know that you know how to end a freaking episode and a show. And you had the ability to make some good ones, so I know you know how to do it. But at some point, he caught Rick Riley disease, where the more successful he got, and the more popular he got, the more egotistical he got, and the less he cared about delivering a good product to his audience, and developed the attitude that I can crank whatever swill I want out of this machine, and they'll lap it up. They'll just lap it up, because they don't know the difference between good and bad. Well, guess what, David? We do know the difference between good and bad. You're bad. You're a bad man, and I'm going to kick you in the nuts so hard if I ever see you that I'm going to break my foot off. My foot will go flying through the air. I'm going to withdraw a bloody ankle. That's how hard I'm going to kick you. And it's a good thing that I got 2 feet, because the other one's already tattooed Quentin Tarantino's name on it, thanks to that Grindhouse fiasco. Not the first movie. Not the Robert Rodriguez first movie, but that, what was it? Unkillable? Death Proof.
Death Proof, yeah.
Death Proof. Oh! Entertainment proof. Consciousness proof. You notice that Grindhouse thing disappeared like after the first weekend. There was all this buzz, and they had this big weekend and everything, and then it disappeared, didn't it? It like evaporated because of that. Because of Quentin. And there's another thing just like that. And all these other people, all these artist suits that think that they can just crank something out. They're like, oh, no, you don't understand. It's like, the contract between the artist and the art appreciator is like, you have to appreciate what the artist does. You might not get it, and you might not like it, and you understand it, but that's the art. Bull crap, see? Because if I hear an artist, a musical artist that I like, I have the option of going and buying the CD or stealing it. Hey, that Black Eyed Peas song is good. I think I'll go buy the CD. And even if the rest of the CD sucks, at least I got one good song because I've already heard that song, so I know I'm at least getting one good song out of it, right?
Correct.
If I go to a gallery that sells paintings, I can look around the gallery. I see all these paintings up there. This one's good. This one's not. This one's really ugly. This one's pretty beautiful. I think I'll buy that one and put it up on my wall at home. Here's your money. There's my painting. I bought something that I like. They're not asking me. I'm not going to the gallery where they are displaying nothing. Here's $100, and then they bring me a painting, a random painting, and I'm going to put that up in my house. See, it doesn't work that way, David Chase. But you took our money up front, and you did not deliver a product. You delivered an incomplete product. Not because I have questions that are unanswered. He still could have left it with an opening for a movie or an opening for this. There was a way to end it, and everybody knows there was a way to end it, and anybody who isn't a paid shill or a sued is up in arms and all pissed off, and I will be forever, David Chase, forever, because I don't believe in forgiveness. Forgiveness is a crock invented by the clergy so that they could charge bad people too. QAM, hello.
George.
What?
I agree with you. Sopranos sucked.
Yeah?
At the end. Rome, too bad. Rome had to go away.
It was too expensive and too good, If it's good, it can't last, right?
Way too good. I sent you an invite to a beta program called Juiced. I was wondering if you got it.
A paid program?
No, a beta program. It's a internet cable, basically.
Okay.
For free.
I don't know if I got it.
Okay.
Was this a long time ago or something? I get a lot of mail, as you know.
A couple weeks. There's a 2-year.
Send it again. I might have been really high when I read it or something.
Okay.
I deleted it without knowing.
It's coming from a business, so it might end up in your junk mail.
All right.
JOOST.
I'll try it again. Thank you.
Send it again.
All right, bye. QAM, hello.
Hey, George.
How are you?
It's right on the CD. I think you're getting the characters mixed up. Scott Jones is the boyfriend.
QAM, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
George.
QAM, hello. Hello.
Yeah, hi. I just want to say I really liked it.
Yeah? Screw you. I hope you die. QAM, hello.
Hey, George, that guy's out of his mind. Listen, I just want to tell you something. I want to compliment you. You and Neil, I mean, you remind me of like almost like an Abbott and Costello.
Like Laurel and Hardy? I'm the straight man.
Laurel and Hardy.
Get it? Get it?
Sure.
I'm the straight one. Get it? All right, go ahead.
You are no, because I mean.
Get it? That's a joke. That's a pun. Get it?
And he's leaving.
Keep going.
And he's leaving, and you're like, okay, go. Okay, whatever. Goodbye.
Well, I don't have an option now, do I? I'm a faithful little soldier here. I'm loyal to the show. They're not paying me one dime extra to do this.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what's crazy. I don't understand that at all.
Don't you understand? I'm not talking about the smell of other men's taints. What don't you understand about that? If I was, I could be an idiot. I could have a speech defect. I could be a blathering lunatic. I could be irresponsible. I could say things that would get them sued every hour of the day, and I'd be on all day long. Still, if I would talk about the smell of Famunda cheese.
Stan Major said that Neil is an overpaid talent. Well, you're an
Oh,
underpaid
please.
talent. No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying Stan's right, but you're an underpaid talent. I'm not kissing your butt. I'm just telling you the
Say
facts
hello to
and
my
the
good
facts
friend
and the
Stan
facts
next
and
time.
the facts. That's a fact.
All right, no problem. Stan takes credit for introducing us, for at least suggesting my name to Neil. So if nothing else, there you go.
Hey, what's going on? I'm not a Sopranos fan, but I did watch the ending on YouTube, and I'd be mad if I spent all those
I wanted
years.
to kick my TV. See, it's a rip on people. Go, oh, that's it. That's what you get. It's like, no. There's a deal. I pay you money. You give me a product. Not half of it. Not 90% of it.
Yep.
All of it. You end it, MFer. As a matter of fact, if you do nothing else, you better end it. You start from the end and you work backwards from there because you don't get. It's like a joke without a punchline. It's like sex without an orgasm. It's like spending the day with a beautiful woman, all right, making out all day long, and then she says goodbye to you and then goes in and has sex with her boyfriend. Why are you talking over me when I'm trying to get a point out? Anyway, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
And then she goes off and has sex with her boyfriend instead.
Rise of Silver Surfer tonight, so I can give you an update tomorrow. I did like part 1, X-Men, but I think this one will be 10 times
X-Men,
better.
you mean Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
I'm not jinxing it by predicting anything. I think that, I didn't think that they had the balls to bring Galactus, and it looks like they're going to. And so, but this whole power switching thing and everything, I was like, what the hell? Now they're going crazy.
Give Weeds a chance, though. I know you said you didn't like it. I'm telling you, it is good. It is real good.
All right. Thank you very much.
Season 1 and watch from
No
the
problem.
first episode.
I will. All right. Take it easy. Did you hear that guy talk all over me like that?
Yes,
so
I
the
did.
point that I was trying to make was it's like spending the day with a beautiful woman making out, and then she leaves you to go and have sex with her boyfriend instead of you. That's what that was like. QAM, hello.
God, I understand.
QAM, hello. Never ever, faggot. QAM, hello.
George.
Yeah. I'm late for
Can you
the
hear
phone.
me?
No. It's 17 till 2, 560 WQAM.
That Father's Day is...
Sunday is Father's Day. Your dad, your pop, the man asleep on the couch, the man with the supercharged 24-cylinder nitro-fueled temper. So don't you dare miss his day on Sunday. The man who told you to walk it off, big sissy, when you broke your arm outside the Civic Arena. The man who taught you to drive the family minivan like a super colossal 4x4 car-crushing monster truck. So buy him another crappy tie on Sunday. He's the guy who taught you the birds and bees over a plate of wings at Hooters. He taught you to shake it 2 times, but not 3, because you know what that means. So get the man a beer, let him have the remote control, and leave the guy alone, because that's what he really wants for Father's Day on Sunday. Because he's your dad, that's why.
Yeah, deadbeat. 11 till 2, 560 WQAM. So let me ask you this. If I'm taking the wife out to a fancy dinner for the anniversary, do I still have to buy her a present? Maybe some of the husbands out there can give me some advice.
Yeah, I don't know.
And again, I already covered, like, she doesn't have to buy me a present. Please don't buy me anything. Please don't buy me anything, honey. Whatever it is, I want the money more. Here's the criteria. Here's what I want from you from now until who knows. Something I want that you didn't spend my money on. How's that? Does that sound like good criteria? Is that complicated?
No. Not complicated.
You don't spend my money on it, first of all. If it's going to cost any of my money, don't spend it, because I don't want it. And it has to be something that I want. Like, say, for example, you could get me laid by someone that I might want to have sex with. That would be good. I'd like that. I'd appreciate that. QAM, hello. Hello.
Hey, George, what's up?
How are you?
Pretty good. Listen, I was wondering if you ever heard of this singer named Amy Winehouse.
That sounds familiar.
She's
Amy
got
with an
this-
I or a Y?
With a Y. She's got this song called Rehab. And I know Neil is really into Motown, but I think he would take your recommendation more than the listeners.
Amy Winehouse? Well,
Yeah.
if anybody has any on them, email it to me, Jorge@neilrogers.com.
And also just wanted to say I'm looking forward to the summer break because I'm just slightly more of a fan of yours than Neil.
Oh, you're sweet and, of course, full of crap, but thank you very much.
All right, take care,
All right,
man.
take it easy. QAM, hello.
George?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read an online review about the Fantastic Four. The person said that he liked the movie, but except the portrayal of the Galactus.
Okay, well, I don't want to know anymore.
Because he's not physical in nature.
Oh.
It's like a cosmic energy kind of person.
How bogus. I see. I told you. I knew it. I knew they didn't have the stones to bring Galactus. That ain't Galactus.
No, the physical.
Yeah, well, that's
the
trust
giant.
me. As
the
we all
giant
know,
man.
as we all know, Galactus is
Yeah, of
freaking
course.
physical, and he wears purple armor, and he has a funny hat.
Right.
And
right.
that's Galactus, not no cosmic energy force.
Right. That's the only thing that the reviewee.
Yeah. Bogus. Bogus.
Yep.
Great. Thanks for ruining it for me ahead of time. I'll still go see it on
sorry.
Sunday. I'll go home and ruin it for my daughter too. Honey, Galactus is an energy form. QM, hello.
Hello, George.
Yes.
Last night I saw a show at midnight on Comedy Central. Lil Bush. Have you heard of that?
I've been seeing the promos all week long, but I haven't seen the show. Funny? Not funny?
It is hilarious.
Really?
They got Condoleezza Rice. Dick
I know
Cheney.
the comedian, the guy that's doing the voice, he has this whole Bush routine, so obviously it's based on that.
Yeah, it's all about a parody of their administration. It is hilarious.
Sweet.
You got to see it.
All right, I will. What time? When? Who? What?
Well, last night it was on Comedy Central at midnight, but I don't know if that's
All
the
right.
usual time. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll check my local listings.
Check it out and talk about it on the air. You'll love it.
All right, thank you very much. The promos didn't look funny. That's why I was a little bit scared of it. Good to see that that at least somebody liked it. I'll give it a shot. QAM, hello.
George,
Yeah.
it's good to know that I'm not the only idiot that stayed through The Sopranos for this season after last season blew so much,
Right.
and actually thought that the ending was going to be halfway decent.
No, well, I didn't think that. As a matter of fact, everyone that I talked to said, you know what, we're 40 minutes into this thing and nothing has happened yet. You know what that means? Nothing is going to happen at all.
Well, here's the ridiculous part. At the very end, the screen goes black.
Right.
My wife and I watched
Everyone's screaming.
it. After all of the credits come, we thought something was going to happen after that.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you,
Listen,
that's
we
what
did
George-
that same thing at the Blair Witch Project thinking, oh no, the movie's they're gonna end it after the credits. Ha ha ha. No, it was a practical joke on the audience. We got your money. Psych.
I tell you what, George, you can go ahead and kick David Chase in the nuts if I can stick my foot up his butt. And
Okay.
here's the true thing. I mean, people were saying
You can have his butt.
People were saying maybe there's going to be a movie or
Who cares?
a sequel or
Who
whatever.
cares? I paid for this. I paid for this already. I paid for HBO. I paid for a freaking series.
Well, I tell you what, as much as everyone would say, you know what, you're a big fan, you're going to see it.
No.
Listen, George, I'd rather have
Listen.
roofing nails through my sack.
I'll steal it.
than
I'll
watch
steal
again.
it and watch it and mass produce copies of it and deal them out like cards, like a Vegas dealer deals cards to anyone who wants to watch that swill. But David Chase is not going to see another dime from me ever again.
I hate you, David Chase. I hope you die.
I hate you. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing my hate. QAM, hello.
Yeah, George.
Yep.
Anniversary gift. Give her your undying love. You're being more than nice to giving them dinner. And that's it, bud. That's it, man.
Oh, God, I should take a
15
poll.
years, man. 15 years. They put a push on, but then they get over it.
Uh-huh. All right. Thanks for the tip. We will be taking a consensus all show long tomorrow. Anniversary, and it isn't one of those, it doesn't end, with a 5 or a 0. It ain't one of those. See, if I said what number it is, people would be going, but your daughter is 18, so that would mean, yeah, that's exactly what that means. 6 till 2 on 560, slut. WQAM.
Way down yonder, in the heart of Dixie, the land of cotton and hypocrisy. Their drug labs are cranking out methamphetamine. Churches of peace and good are the labs in the moon. Crystal meth sensation, the Christian redneck's new recreation. Crystal meth sensation, crystal meth. All of God's children in God's country. Mountain Dew they are taken intravenously. Some hillbilly numbers, most definitely. great more. Crystal Meth Sensation.
Bye, bye, bye.